Yo, salute. Knicks Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Knicks Real Talk, we all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine, Bronx, Jedi 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Knicks Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight.
Knicks Real Talk, let's get it poppin'. We hoppin' like toppin' in the Jumpman brand, ain't no stoppin'. Divine and Bronx, Jedi 7-6. We live from Facebook, Twitter to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them likes below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up, cause it's Knicks Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. So where it's at, now you place the chats. When I pace that under space where our face is at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a can or two out the handle on the banner. We vibing, so subscribe to the channel. Knicks Real Talk. Knicks Real Talk.
Hey, yeah, salute. What's going on, everybody? I'm glad y'all aboard. Knicks Real Talk, man. We in the building tonight. Divine, man, my man Bronx Jedi out on leave for a minute, but in the chat behind, giving us some thoughts and ideas. But salute to everybody, man. Let's get it popping Sunday. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock, free agency start. A lot of buzz out there. We're going to get into all that good stuff. But I hope everybody doing well, man. We ready to get on the grind with me. And welcome to the chat. Salute. Welcome to everybody streaming in from wherever you're from, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're streaming in from. We appreciate you coming in tonight. And I'm here, man, on the 1st of August, Sunday. Nice, mild day, chilling, rain up and down the coast a little bit. But first and foremost, thank everybody for being, coming to the show, man. Salute, man, and let's get it popping. You already know, man, COVID-19 is still out there, man. The Delta variant is starting to run amok against everybody. Make sure y'all protect yourselves. Wash your hands, all that, wear your mask, man, and all that good stuff, man. Just be safe. And we're going to get into it, man. We're just coming off the draft Thursday, man. You already know how that went down. I think we did well in the draft. We're going to get into that a little later as well. We're going to break down everything today, man. So it's wide open, man. But let me salute everybody. Will, Nick P, Tim, Bogadada, Wildfire. Salute to you, my brother. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Uncle Fulio in the building in the chat. Salute to my brother right there. But yeah, man, we coming off the draft Thursday. Now it's time to, the aftermath now. Once the draft aftermath is here, everybody, the dust done settled. We kind of can get back to what we thinking, how we feeling. I know at the beginning of the night, at the end of the night, we was hyped. Then we got a little discouraged. But overall, I think now that a couple of days that went by, you got a chance to really, really feel. Now you had a chance to go over the prospects that we had picked in the draft. You can really see what you feel about it. And then now you can really tell if you like the draft or you think it was a success or a fail or a miss, whatever the case may be. But you can really, really now get into it because you had a couple of days to kind of go over it and, revitalize and see what you think, man, how your feelings and settle a little bit. So we're going to get into all that as well. But like I said, man, tomorrow, 6 o'clock, the free agency start. A lot of buzz out there. So we're going to get into all that, man. We got my man in here, BX in the background, breaking down all the chatter and everything like that, man. So, yeah, let's get into it, man. But salute. I'm glad y'all here. I'm ready to get it popping. Like I said, free agency, man. Let's get into that, man. We start Tuesday, man. We got some space. We're going to get into, that situation. Knicks got roughly 57 million in cap space. We got a couple of needs we need to fill on the team. We want to get into that because I do think we need to do a little bit of upgrading here. I think we did have a successful draft, so I'm kind of happy about the draft. Once it does settle, I like Grimes. I like McBride, Sims. I think that's a nice, good pick. And Rocco from over across the way. I think he's going to be another good player for us. So we got to get into all that, man, and see where it's going. But right now, tomorrow is the big thing for the NBA. Like I said, it's the free agency starts, man, and there's a lot of things going on out there. We're going to get into all that, first and foremost. But our Knicks, with the rumors swirling right now, what I'm hearing out there, Carmelo Anthony. Knicks interested in bringing Carmelo Anthony back. I think they might be interested in bringing Noel back from the reports that I'm looking at on a lot of these streams. So we're going to get into that as well. They want Derrick Rose to kind of shop around before they make that final decision on that. So we're going to get into that as well. And so I think what they doing is just crossing their T's and dotting their I's and making sure that they're ready to go, man. Because I think they're gonna use that cap space to make some moves. What move they're gonna make, we don't really know, but we have to see. And so I'm looking at obviously we know we got to deal with the point guard situation. Probably another wing, probably a 3-wing or 4 or 5, whatever the case may be. But we are looking at various things out there, so we're going to get into that. So y'all throw the chats and throw your comments in the chat. Let's get it popping and see what's going on. BX Sports Jedi just indicated Charlotte is allowing elite guard Malik Monk to become a restricted free agent and extends qualifying offer to Devontae Graham as a restricted free agent. Yeah, I kind of see that coming too, man. Good one, BX, because I think they're gonna try to sign Graham back, even though they let him become unrestricted. They're still gonna see what's gonna happen with him out there, and if they can get him, they can get him. But he's gonna be one of them guys I think people would love to have on their team because his 3-point prowess, the kid can knock it down on a regular basis. So I do think he's gonna be pretty heavily suited out there. So we got to see if Charlotte Hornets going to match him, or they figure like, I can see the Malik Monk going. They brought in Brock Knight, so that might make Malik Monk definitely expandable because they like, we brought in a young guy from Connecticut, so he might be that Malik Monk replacement. So I think Malik Monk going to be probably looking for another team. I would say so, and because I think Devontae Graham they're going to either try to sign them, and I think him, Terry Rozier, and LaMelo. Them prime 3 guys right there. And then they brought in Brook Knight and whoever what else they're gonna do down there. But so that's their thing. And BX the Heat, they declined a $15 million option on Andre Iguodala for next season, making him a free agent. I heard they might be talking about him going out the other way, the West Coast and all that stuff, man. And so we got to get in that well. But yeah, I kind of figured that was gonna happen. They did extend a qualifying offer to Gordon Dragic, and they were talking about him as well. People like LA and them looking at him too, so we have to see how that go down. Knicks announced that they exercised the option on center Mitchell Robinson and Wade center Noel Pell. Robinson's extension is eligible. He can be a restricted free agent and next summer, absolutely. So I think that was the right thing to do. I just had to figure they were going to do that. I think that was a no-brainer guy out there that they were going to extend him. I just thought that was a no-brainer right there. And we'll see how he go. He start the season with the Knicks or he get traded. Who knows? I hope he be here, be part of the core, and then they think they need to do something at the trading deadline. But I will at least give him the start of the season to be the Knicks center and see how he progresses coming off of injury this summer and everything. Then they can make that decision on whether they're going to extend him or just let him walk at the end of the season or trade him at the deadline. So we got to keep the Richard Robinson thing going out there. Real quick, man. Salute to Nick P. Will, like I said. Bogut Wi-Fi, salute to you, my brother. Thank you for chiming in, man. And Uncle Fulio in the building, you already know. But so yeah, man. It's a lot of that there, man. It was emotional draft night, Will, for sure, man. Salute Project, my brother Hector in the building. Salute to you, Hector. We appreciate you, brother. Yeah, absolutely, Will. Rocos to the Summer League. I was confirmed. I got that report from CT over in Australia earlier. Streets of Brother. Salute, CT. I know you get ready to get on your grind, man, because you're on another part of the country, out of the world. But salute to my brother Scott Cantor. Salute. Lynn to Lynn. Salute. Jeremy Ross. Salute. Fam. Peace. What's up, people? Everybody. Bill. So we're going to get into all that. Scott Cantor had it, said, what's up, people? Bill or help, please. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do something, Scott. We'll figure that out. Lynn. Frank didn't get qualifying offer from Knicks. Yeah, I think that's about to be a wrap too, for sure. Milwaukee Bucks, Portis is declining his $3.8 million option and will become a free agent next year. I do think he's going to sign back with them. I think Milwaukee going to bring Bobby Portis back, help them get a ring with a pivotal part of what they do. So I think they're going to find a way to get him in there for sure. I think Bobby Portis might wind up back there unless he get an offer that's going to leave him no choice because the money is there for him. But we'll see because he did play an integral part in them winning that championship. So I think they might like to do that back. Our front office is amazing. These guys are building their team for real. Absolutely, Kevin Woodbridge. With guys with that way they did that in the draft, man, they saved almost like $2.something million. And they added 2 extra picks and still picked the 4 people. Great job, Brock Allah. I think Grimes and McBride are gonna be special. I really do. So I got to give them front office. I'm not even mad at what they did, man. They got 2 extra picks. And they saved $2.4 million or some of that range to add to free agency. And we also got to realize too, guys, if they do need more cap money, Knox, that 5-point-something might be easy to move. Valdola, $3-point-something million not guaranteed. So that's another $9 million almost right there. So hopefully both of them stay. But that's just to let you know that that's possible, because we heard a report from Stephen A. He was saying that though Lillard is not asking for a trade, but if that were to happen, his first destination will be the New York Knicks. I get it, and Stephen A. putting that out there on Cyrus XM. So we had to see about that, you know what I mean? But the Melo thing is interesting, man. I always thought that was a possibility. There's probably going to be one. Either he go out to LA with LeBron James and try to get that ring, or he might come here. And I always thought that was a really good possibility that could happen, because I think the veteran leadership and what he might only want to come here and shot 40% from three last year for Portland. So that was pretty impressive. So that's another option out there. We definitely hearing the Derrick Rose, the Knicks asking him to go kind of, shop around. There's reports he might go to Chicago. He might go back home. He might want to go, he might go back home. And worst case scenario, they heard Nerlens Noel to get, he also got a couple of offers from various other teams. So we have to see, man, it's a lot of moving and shaking going to be going down between tonight and tomorrow. So we got to keep everybody tuned in, keep your ears to the ground, man, the eyes open. Let's see how this thing go, because I do think the Knicks are going to be ready to do a little bit of shopping. What they shop is hard to say. What they're going to buy is hard to say. Lonzo Ball and Kyle Lowry and all them guys factor into this thing, Oubre and all these guys. So it's really hard to say. It's not a major free agent talent team out there this year, believe it or not, but there's a lot of them out there. And Elton Lee, salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you chiming in. Elton, you already know. But yeah, I mean, it's not a plethora of real great superstars down there, but it's some guys out there that can make a difference on some teams. So we're going to, see how that go. But I do think the Knicks going to go in there and spend some money somewhere. We got our own free agents that we can sign back, some of them. But we'll see. So, I mean, you guys let me know what y'all thinking out there, man. Feel free to comment in, throw it in, and let me know. Jonathan Goosen, I think the Knicks miss out on all. Let's hope not, Jonathan. Salute to you, my brother, for chiming in, man. Y'all hit that like and subscribe. Jonathan, yeah, I hope not. I hope we do something, man. I think we really need to upgrade a little bit more. The Evan Fournier thing is out there. Let me reinstate that. That's out there as well. Not a bad guy to have on the team at the three ball. I think he's a little bit more consistent than Reggie Bullock. Got a little bit more of a inside-outside game than Reggie Bullock. So, so that's another option. Or you bring both of them back. Let him start let Reggie Bullock come off the bench. I think that with the small forward spot, that would be a nice combination there. So we had to wait and see with that. But yeah, I think we're definitely gonna go out there and do something. Whether it's signing trades or whatever the case may be, I'm looking forward to what we're gonna do. I know we need to do a little bit of upgrade and don't get crazy, don't get carried away. It look like a lot of the big dominoes, they not gonna go nowhere, I don't think. So I think that's gonna be pretty much a wrap with that. Elton Lee said the draft will rebuild many teams, benches at the league is turning it over. Absolutely. Salute real quick, Will, I hope we keep Rose, the free agent point guards. Sounds less attractive. They do. Absolutely. I agree with you. Will, I'm not too big on what's out there myself, believe it or not. I mean, I know some of them can help, but I would rather have D Rose back here than if we're going to spend 25, 30 million on somebody. I think D Rose could fit the bill, but unless you're looking for a starting point guard, if you need somebody who you think going to start, if you don't think D Rose is going to be a starting point guard for the Knicks, then that's a different story. But other than that, I'm with Will on that one. You bring D Rose back and see what else you can get out there, and I think it might pan out well, man. Salute to Canal. Uncle Fulio Frank is now. Let's give Uncle Fulio Frank is now unrestricted. Knicks can still sign him though. Absolutely, you dead right on that one, Uncle Fulio, and I think that's a very possibility. Let's get it popping here. Supreme want to keep Rose, Bullock, and Noel, but Noel and Bullock should come off the bench. Rose could start until young guys are very ready. Absolutely, I agree with that. I don't have no problem bringing all three of them guys back. You can even throw Taj in here for me. I wouldn't have a mind with that at all, man. Because I think that it'll help us out either way it go. I got it kicked to the gut this morning. SGA is going to sign an extension with the OKC. Yeah, absolutely. I think the person they're going to get out of there is going to be Kemba Walker. You know what I mean? How you guys feel about him and with a couple of years left? Would y'all want Kemba Walker, hometown cat in New York, out of Connecticut? Y'all give me your thoughts on that and let me know. I know his injury situation always is crazy, but y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Shine Q, salute, my brother. You already know there's a pretty option. There are plenty of options at point guard position. True indeed. Uncle Fulio said that making him unrestricted free agent. Frank Ntilikina. So we'll see what they're going to do with that. He's still out there in France balling. They're going to be in the Olympics. I think they're going to be pretty. Them Spain and the U.S. going to be the ones, and Australia going to be the ones in the finals. To me, these guys surprise us all. The time is going to be players aren't thinking the ball and will come on this team. I agree with you, Kevin. 100% on that one as well. Yeah, and we also got that good. I'm glad you put that in there, Jonathan. Nick should trade some of those second rounds for Terrence Ross. Absolutely. I'm with you on that one, Jonathan. I like the Terrence Ross thing too. And Tim Smith, Todd Jess, no to Kimba. I feel you on that one. Fulio, as long as OKC has given up some picks, I wouldn't mind having him at least at last resort on point guard run. I agree with you on that one as well. So, we got to see how that pan out with that situation. And Sean Hughes, real quick, salute to everybody. I just want to make sure I get y'all chatting here because y'all co-hosting it with me. Charlotte had a lock jam at the point guard spot. Yeah, that's true. And we got to see what they're going to do with Devontae Graham and Rozier and Melo. I know they all three of them actually can probably, with the way the NBA is now, play off the ball a little bit. I know Rozier probably can because he's a scorer / point guard / scorer, so he could play off the two. I think Devontae Graham could play off the two the way he's shooting and things of that nature. So that's not a bad situation for Charlotte to be in with all three of them. They actually, but that Rozier thing, man, that's going to be aspiring, man. So it's interesting to see what Charlotte going to do with that. But I think right now, if when the smoke clears tomorrow, we will do something. I just don't know, what we're going to do. But I got a few things that I like for us to do. But I like I said, from hearing what I'm hearing out here on the world out there, the Knicks talking about they were buying Carmelo, Evan Fournier, Ross. I meant to say, that's real interesting as well. So you guys, we just gotta hope that our front office did their due diligence and feel like the best need for the team. They're gonna accomplish that by going out there and getting what they can get. We still got chances to have trade scenarios happen with this thing. So we're gonna see, man. But I think we're gonna be here tomorrow night at 6:00. On not here, but seeing what's gonna go on with that, man. And I think we do got a good chance to improve this team and make it better. I do think we had a decent draft. Now, when like I said, once the smoke settled, the dust clears, and all the feelings got out of the way. I like the guys that the Knicks got fit the mold of the team, especially Grimes and McBride. I think them two guys fit the type of ball players that would make us better. For in the future, they can come in and get us playing in this rotation this year. We have to see what they do in free agency, how it builds out. But I do think they could contribute. Jonathan said OKC could give us 22 firsts and a second for Kimber for Knox. Yeah, that's very possible. I definitely can see that. Will said a 4-year rumor had 4 years, 80 million. Nah, to that. The Dallas Mavericks are picking up center Willie Cauley-Stein, point forward team option. I think they would do that. BX appreciate that, so they're gonna keep him there. Sexton is Kimba, but cheaper. Absolutely, that's absolutely Elton Lee. I think that's definitely the way to go. But yeah, I kind of figured the BX they would do that, and so we're gonna see what they're doing. But so Will say no to 4 years on 4 year at 20 million. Will, if the Knicks had to sign him, throw me what you think you would offer him, or what you think you would be willing to give Fournier, because he is a productive dude. And that's not, don't let us get it twisted. I think when he was down in Orlando with Vucevic and them, he was doing his thing, but he had a little injury, I think last year or the year before, and it kind of screwed him up a little bit. So we have to see how that go, man. But Will, let me know the 4 year thing, man. Tell me what you think about that. If you don't want 4 years, 80 million, what would you do for Fournier if you had to bring him in here, man? And I'm gonna bring the Queen's Court in the building, man. It's always a pleasure to have a sister here. I got Stephanie in the building. Salute, sister. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me really good? I'm testing a new mic.
It sounds very well. Sounds good, okay. Good.
Man, I appreciate you. I miss you, my brother. It's been a long time.
Yeah, man. You've been grinding, though.
I have been trying to get like you. I'm having a lot of fun, Divine. I just can't. I know this is off topic. Like when we first met on MBK, I just shot on there because I just felt you brothers. And when I say this past year has been joyful, I'm having a great time between Queen's Court, MBK, jumping on this show, jumping on with Brother Ron. It's crazy. The Knicks are doing well. It's been a really good year.
Yeah, it has, man. And how did y'all enjoy the draft party?
The draft party was so nice. You know, we're gonna do it every year. Hopefully, you can make one.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
just to be there with the fans and to meet. Like I had met Sim, but I never met Gmo. I never met Isaiah. To be able to meet them, to be able to meet the fans, they came from all over, and the fans is just onto this Nick content. I don't care how many new channels come out. You're gonna have the views. I mean, the Nick fans are just crazy. And then I also found out that a lot of fans don't listen on YouTube. A lot of fans listen while they drive into work. A lot of fans listen, you know, in their car, at home while they cleaning,
Right.
So I met some fans and I was asking what was their chat name. And a lot of them said that they don't really comment on the chat because they're not listening on YouTube. So
Mm.
we got fans all over. This is just great. I definitely enjoyed it. I'm sure we'll get into the free agency and we'll get into the Knicks picks. So I won't say too much about that right now.
Yeah. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Like for me, man. Have my own platform, but the love of especially my people in the chat, for the love of the people who love the Knicks and love the content creating that we bring and everything. I just think it's wonderful that they support us like they do. Because Knicks
Right.
fans are all over the place. You know what I mean? And we everywhere. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. But I'm happy for you. And now that I know that now that you got the brothers coming on, so I'm gonna have to jump on now.
Please do. Please do.
I'm at to holler at you now that you got the brothers on. I'm gonna make sure I come up in there and show you some love because you've been
Appreciate
supporting me since day one. I appreciate you for that. You already
Of
know.
course. Of
But
course.
yeah, man, it's interesting. 6 o'clock tomorrow is about to go down. You got the free agency starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and I'm dying to see what the Knicks gonna do. A lot of scenarios, but I'm pretty happy with the draft now that, like I was telling the guys in the chat, now that the dust settled. I'm happy. I think we did good. I think we gained 2.4 million in cap. We got 2 extra picks. You know what I mean? And I think Grimes and McBride, they're gonna be fine. You know what I mean?
They're going to be in the rotation, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So I think that was I know it kind of looked crazy when the first thought we trading the 19, we trading this, but I always I was like, man, you know what? These cats got a plan about something, you know what I mean? And I really think that they own it and they're going to get it popping for us, man. But yeah, I'm glad salute to Sim and everybody on MBK. Salute, what a great party I heard, man. So salute to y'all, salute to the Power Father, my brother, you already know. Yeah, man. We had a live, not live in here. We were screaming over whatever I had it going on here, man. We had a good time with it, man. We did a marathon that night, Steph, like 6 hours. I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
we did it though. We had it popping though. It was fun, man. We had it was fun. BX hosted it. He's down right now, out for a little bit. He got a little illness with him. Prince the Bun came on, held it down with me, did a great job. I appreciate you, Prince the Bun. Thank you for hosting with me that night, man. He held it down with me, man. We had a good time, man. So it was fun for sure. But what do you think, man? What do you think about tomorrow, man? We got some heads about Carmelo Anthony, which I've been telling my guys on this show for a minute. I can see the Knicks bringing him back, and but I think it's gonna be LA or New York. I think he's gonna eat up either one of them places. To me, I think he might come to either New York or LA.
Listen, I'm not sure what it is with a lot of the fans. They not feeling the Carmelo Anthony thing that came up in one of my shows. We did what do you call it? Like a roster. We all constructed our roster for the Knicks for the next year, and all 3 of us had Carmelo Anthony on the roster, and the chat went crazy. But listen, I think he would help us. I don't think he's that same ball hogging player that people think he is. Now, I'm a big Carmelo fan, so when he left the Knicks and went to Portland, I still followed him. I still watched those games, and he's just, he moved the ball. He shot quicker. He wasn't like pounding the ball a lot. He still got it. This guy still has it at his age. His footwork, his ability to get his shot off. He's a willing defender. He may not be the best defender, but he's not a lazy defender. Like, he's not somebody that's, just going to allow people to go. His effort is there, So you imagine Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench. If you get 12 points, 6 rebounds from Carmelo Anthony, we good. And we can get that easily. Right. He could play that 4 position. He could play, he wouldn't be that great defensively at the 3, but you can move him between the 3 and the 4. And if there's times when Obi is not doing what he need to be, we got options. You know what I mean? So I'm all for bringing Carmelo Anthony back. And I think, I just want him to, his last experience about New York to not be the Phil Jackson era. You know what I mean? His last experience to be something different.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? And I think that underestimate, if you keep the roster we have now, we thought when I was telling everybody, last week, what Carmelo Anthony could do for Obi Toppin would be amazing. We talking about somebody who need work on their footwork. That
Right.
you go to the man right there.
Right.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? That's the man right there going to teach Obi how to do a jab step, how to drop the elbow in the gut every now and then. This guy could teach. This man that went amongst the best. And like you said, he's not the Melo looking to come in and be man. No, Melo want to come in and help these guys just like he did in Portland. They love this guy in Portland. You know what I mean? They and Dane them speak highly of Carmelo Anthony because I think his character goes beyond anything else you can even imagine.
No doubt.
So I do think that if you can bring him here on and he's not going to want a lot of money. Carmelo ain't going. He not trying to play for money. No,
Right.
But I do think he can really help us. You bring the right guy in here in free agency or a trade, via sign and trade or just disgruntled for some. You just never know. You just never know what Carmelo could do for. I would love to have him here. I think the man these next 2 years, let him go out the way. Let him go out in this regime, this organization. Let him try to go. Because I think between now and next year, the Knicks got a chance to get, with a couple of players here to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I do think them two players that we bought in the draft, people don't underestimate how Grimes and them cats can play, and I think they will. You think about it, they're going to get time more than Frank and them guys did. I just think that they them type of players. So I think what do you think about Evan Fournier for as him coming down this way, Queen?
You know what? I haven't really watched him that much. To me, it depends on the contract. How much? I saw like 20 million for 4 years, like 80 million. I'm not sure. I definitely know he could shoot it. I definitely know he can handle the ball some. I think he's an okay defender. Is he somebody that's going to get into the lane for us?
Well, he can do that. That's what I like about him compared to Reggie Bullock.
Okay.
Because he can go inside, outside. He don't have a problem with putting the ball on the floor and going to that hole. That's what I kind of like about him. His 3-point game is good. He will put the ball on the floor and go down there. And he's been around long enough to know the game. So but like you said, the 4 years, 20 million. I prefer it to be maybe like 15 or something like that.
Me too.
So, yeah,
Me too.
but I don't know if I want to give him 4 years, 80 million because then I think for 20 million, we just got to make sure we spend that on somebody all around who can go get it from every angle. You know what I mean? Not somebody who just could hit a jump shot. And like I was telling the guys, that's why I couldn't do the 20 million for Duncan Robinson because he's just a shooter. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to get somebody to come in here for that amount of money. They got to be able to play inside, outside. Defense got to be special. I mean, you can we just got a shooter in the draft. You know what I mean? And he only on a little deal. So, I think, but that because I heard that out there in Bleacher Report world that the Knicks is they interested in him. I heard they were interested in Noel as well. But I think that price.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think that price is going to go up a little bit though. And I think
no doubt about it.
Dallas, and a couple other teams out there they interested in Noel. I don't think that's going to cost them a little bit of money.
Toronto.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Jonathan said Evan Fournier 17 points per game last season. I like the idea of giving him a 2 year 45. I can see that when I'm good with Jonathan. That makes sense.
Yeah.
If you want to give him 2 years, absolutely. That's a good call. Yeah, I'm in 2 years, 40 million around that range. I think you got to live with that.
No doubt. And I wouldn't mind overpaying. If we're giving guys 2 year contracts, you might have to overpay a little bit. I'm okay with it because we can get off those contracts in 2 years.
Absolutely. And I think that's what we should do right now. These 2 years could be a major push to try to get to that level. And then and if it don't pan out, them kind of come off the books. You still got all the young talent down there. You still got draft picks. So I think we should be in there trying to make it happen, man. But he said Evan wants Canal said Evan wants 4 years, 80 million. The madness. He is not worth that. Rather resign Burks. I can see that. Yeah, absolutely, because he scored just like him. He don't have the size like him, but he can score like him.
Right.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one right there. But yeah, for and then this point guard situation where we need to sew up, guys. We need to really get this point guard situation nailed down. The Knicks telling Derrick Rose, from what I hear in the reports out on Bleacher Report and all these places that they want him to go out there and scan the market first. and then and then they see where it go from there.
Right.
Mhm. Because with the Stephen A thing going off about Damian Lillard, Captains and Cyrus XM, Carmelo Anthony, Damian Lillard, Carmelo Anthony, that stuff started, you make it think like they putting puzzles together around here.
Right, right.
We got to keep all that stuff and check and make sure it's official. But they out here, man. But Kyle Lowry, Lonzo, I think Lonzo gonna go. I think he's gonna go to Chicago, or they might keep him
in Orleans.
Orleans.
And you know what? I haven't been hearing the Knicks tied to him often. So I don't know if that's because they got intel that he's not interested in them, or he got intel that the Knicks are not interested in him. But one way or the other, I'm not really hearing the Knicks and Lonzo tied together like I was earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true because you know what? Much as I like Lonzo, for me, God, this is my opinion. I wish he could penetrate that floor. Though. I mean, he just don't get down that lane enough for me, man. To get somebody 20 million, that's my concern. He's a great passer. His street ball is good, his defense is good, but he do not break down that defense.
Right.
Now, I'm scared to give out somebody that much money if you're only going to be one dimensional on the offense other than your passive. I'm kind of concerned with that for me. But but if the Knicks side they want to, but like you said, I don't hear too much about that right now. You'll see everybody in the chat, man. Y'all keep it popping. Y'all in here on fire. I got the Queen in the building. Queen's Quarters in the building tonight, man, with me. Appreciate her coming in. My man, Bronx Jedi in the background, dropping all the statistics and detail. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, the Kyle Lowry thing, that might be the Miami Heat next move because they did do Gordon Gradish's situation. He might. I heard him might be going. LA might be looking at him too. You know,
but
what I
mean? they picked up his option. So now, if they want to move him, it would have to be in a sign and trade.
Okay.
They picked it up.
So you know what? I wonder if they would do that for Dernis Schroeder.
For Duncan?
No, for Gradich.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if who would do that?
The Lakers sign him and then send him to Miami, and Miami would go and draw him, and they were talking about doing it. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't think they're keeping him. I think it is going to be some sort of trade with him. Yeah, they got to find the right spot. You know, early in the year he was rumored to the Knicks and all that stuff. I'm 50-50 on Dennis Schroeder. You know what I mean? Me too.
I'm 50-50. The guy could play. He'd been around. I mean, he played around some good talent. You know, he was with Chris Paul and them in Oklahoma City. He played with the Lakers. So it's not like he played around guys who knew how to play the game of basketball. So that kind of, but I'm 50-50 on that one.
Me too. I do like the fact that he can get in the lane. I'm with you. I would like somebody that could defend and could get into that lane, draw the defense, and just get some open shots, for our shooters. I think Schroeder can do that. And what I wouldn't underestimate, and again, I'm 50-50 with you. I could take him or leave him. It's when he gets, you never know how a player is going to respond in a new situation. And coming in with our coaching staff, because he has the tools, it's just putting it together. So he may be a different person once he, gets under this coaching regime. But I'm still with you. I could take it all. I wouldn't be mad, but he's not somebody I'm out there saying we need to go get.
Right, exactly. I know it's talented work, but it's a guy that I would definitely take before him. And the other thing with me with the Kelly Oubre situation, that's another thing you got to take into consideration when it comes to these small forwards. If you give Reggie, what Reggie Bullock will get about 12 million, you think 10, 12 million?
I think so.
Would you give Kelly Oubre 16, 17? Or some of that nature?
I mean, I will. I have to say this because I did that roster construction show. I was able to look at the forwards, the wing players that are available. It's not a lot of small forwards available. So what I wound up doing was picking a shooting guard and moving RJ to small forward because Oubre was on the board. But this is the thing with Oubre: his shooting is inconsistent. Okay. So I'm saying. So I don't know, is Oubre ascending or is what we've seen so far this up and down with his shooting, is this who he's going to be? We don't know, So
Right.
I would rather take somebody like Gary Trent, Norman Powell, somebody that I know I can count on game in and game out with their defense and their shooting, even though they're a bit undersized, and move RJ to the 3 before I sign Oubre. That's just me. However, at 15, 16 million, I would do it.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's interesting to me? What players like Oubre entice me, because I see what Tom Thibodeau and that coaching staff could do for players.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think, from what I was hearing him out on the media outlet when we were down, he was in there with what's his name from SNY, Ian Begley.
Right.
We were talking about his situation with that, and but I like his length. I like what he could bring to that small forward spot next to Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson, because he got a little bit of length to him. He lanky, he can defend, and he got a nice wingspan. And I mean, he's that cat that will go in there and throw it on you. You know what I mean? And that's why I wonder with Reggie Bullock and him. He gonna give us things. Reggie Bullock, trust me, ain't giving us. But one thing about Reggie Bullock, he's a dog on the defense as well. He done played the best wing defenders in the league all year long. But I just wonder, from apple to orange, if you're talking about $12 million for Reggie Bullock, how much more does another small forward who could do a couple of more things that he can't do, and you willing to give him $3 or $4 more million? And I think that might be the conundrum that the Knicks are stuck with.
Right. But what about? Are you concerned with his shooting, his inconsistent shooting, or you think we're gonna get that Oubre of, I think it was maybe 2 years ago when he shot better?
I think I do believe we'll get the Oubre 2 years ago for this reason here. Last year, with the wrist injury, and I think not being able to start coming off the bench because he had Andrew Wiggins there, and and Clay, and not Clay, I'm going to say Steph and them. I don't know if he got to get his foot in the way he wanted to with the guy before he got injured with that wrist and all that. I know basketball is a game of rhythm. You got to play enough to get the shots up and do that. But I do think that what he could do, if he put the work in, just like Julius Randle did, RJ did, these guys, you put the work in, you get in that gym, and you get better at it. I think he can do it because I think he's that talented. So and I just think that I like his tenacity, man, on defense. I seen Oubre just get down on cat.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, and he's like one of those guys that kind of fits a Tom Thibodeau type of thing. Like you said, the inconsistency, that would be my concern.
Right.
And Jonathan, like, he was a bad fit in Golden State. I think he was a bad fit in Golden State. Yeah. Mentality wise, because he's a little bit more stylish, flashy, brashy. When they got, like, Steve Kerr got a type of structure down there that, it revolves around Steph Curry, revolves around pick and rolls, constant ball movement, and all that stuff. Right. Maybe he might not have been ready for that. I would say, but we would have to. I don't have a problem with it. I like Kelly Oubre personally. I think the cat can get it. So I just think that coming to New York under the coach that we had with Ted, Johnny Bryan, and Kenny Payne, them. I mean, I seen what he did with a team last year. What we had, and that team we had last year was not super talented.
Right.
And he made and I think that has a lot to do with Scott Perry too. So he came here. Them guys be in the gym 2-3 times a day. I think the culture is set in New York now, where I think a guy like Oubre and playing under Steve Kerr, not a bad idea, because he's coming from a culture that was this kind of sound as well. So we had to see BX said Larry Marketing, 13 points a game, 5.3 rebounds. I don't think Chicago going to pick that up. I think he might be going. I don't know if they're going to do that. Salute Mike Lugo. So we would have to see how that pan out with him. I do think that he's gone, though. I don't think he's staying in Chicago.
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Shout out to Josh, Uncle Fulio. He said Gary Trent would be an enormous pickup for this team. Yeah, I mean, we would have to move RJ to 3 in that situation as well. I wouldn't mind. I would love some length though, but I'm not going to just pay if a guy is not worth it. So if we got to be a little short on the wing, so be it. It's just not a good year for wings.
No. Yep. Yeah, I know I'm having a screen freeze in my background, so y'all bear with me. That thing come back to life.
Hear you though.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, Gary Trent can get it too. Him, Norman Powell, they're the type of player that I take down here. But I'm wondering, because of the Grimes and McBride, them type of guys,
That's true.
They like, well, did we sign them type of guys because they might be looking at different things, but I have no problem with either one of them dudes. I think they fit this culture too, and I think Gary Trent, he's ascending. One thing I can say truly about Gary Trent, he's ascending. I don't know how much more Norman Powell can get better at what he do.
Right.
I think Gary Trent Jr. He's going to be ascending in this career, so that he's a nice pickup too. He's a pedigree father. Got down in the NBA. Salute to everybody, man. Y'all for chiming in. Hit them like buttons, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And Canal said Luka's contract is perfect one to trade. That's a Rivers deal. Yeah, absolutely, because that's not guaranteed. But you know what? Him and Knox together is worth almost $9 million. So if the Knicks was going to do something, but I think he's going to make the team, though. I think Baldo to make this team.
I think he's going to make the team. Yeah, I think, Devon, we're going to have – it's just interesting to see what they're going to do in free agency, because when you look at the point guards, none of them other than Dame, who's not currently available, has been linked with the Knicks. Lowry, Miami, Ball now, Chicago. If we don't come out of this free agency with a point guard, my.
Yeah, right. Yeah, with all the rumors and everybody talking about they coming to the Knicks. Yes, that would be. But I know we have to get one, man. And I think it's a matter. Like I said, I still think it's possible with this. Now let me ask you. Do you think they keep Sexton with Rubio there too?
I think Sexton is on the move.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think Sexton is on the move. I wouldn't be mad at that for $6 million for sure. Right. I would like to see a little more playmaking, but like we just said, once you get under this coaching staff, who knows what he could become? So yeah. I mean, I'm sure they got it in tiers. We're gonna try this first, and if we can't get this, we'll get this one. I'm sure they have it lined out. The thing about it, and another thing, Devon, there's talks already behind the scenes. Don't think people are just gonna be picking up the phone at 6:00. They already got scenarios in play. They already know who's willing to come to the Knicks, who they're willing to pay. A lot of the work has already been done.
Yeah, absolutely. They already, and that's why they probably made the move they made at draft time. They figured this, and like I said, they willed and deal, man. I did not think the Knicks was drafting all 4 of them picks. They got 4 picks, and they got 2 stashes and some money. I mean, you got to give Brock Aller his props, though. Scott Perry was
and 2 draft picks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They got a first protected, whatever, and a second, and they got money. I mean, that from a creation and cap standpoint, they did a hell of a job with that. And I think McBride and I think Grimes going to shock a lot of people. I really do, man. I think that cat got a chance to be special as well, man. He go hard. The cat can shoot it. He go to the lane. I see the one video. He was in the gym, man. He dunked on his kid. People went bananas. I'm like, oh, this kid got athleticism for sure. So they went and said what they were going to do. They did say we're going to go get wings and shooters in the draft. The Knicks said that, and they did it. So you got to salute them for that. Salute to Lawrence worldwide in the building. Salute Lawrence, my brother. I see you. Salute. Yeah, they did what they had to do, man, and I'm not mad at that draft, because even at 19, you would have took the 19th and the 21st. That's almost $5 million we had to pay out, and the Knicks they not trying to do that. And for what they got for it, it didn't bother me. I really think Walt Perrin did his due diligence. You know what I mean? And they've been scouting these guys, and I mean, they took that. They said worldwide, so we should have had traded up for Broke Knight. I can see that. They tried to trade. They tried to trade up, from what I understood. They was trying to trade up for what's the point guard? They was trying to trade up for Suggs. Suggs, right?
You got to have a willing partner. Absolutely. Even when you think about San Antonio at 12. Primo, I would think, would have been there at 19. I don't think anybody thought he was going 12. So I'm sure they tried to trade up with San Antonio. San Antonio could have got 19 and 21 and still got their guy. But the only thing I could think of was, and we could have got, I think they wanted Duarte, and they could have moved up ahead of Indiana and ahead of Golden State to get him. But San Antonio didn't want to take any chances, I'm guessing, that Primo wouldn't be there. So they didn't, they just took who they wanted at 12. So the Knicks tried, and that was the reason why they traded back. They just couldn't get the trade that they wanted, and all of the guys they were eyeing was gone. Trey Mann with 18, Murphy and Duarte, they shot off the board. When I first started doing looking at the mocks, they were in the late first 20s. They shot up Crispert even went, I think he went 15. Then
Yep.
Murphy went 17. All of those guys was off the board. And one of the things I wanted to know is what direction is the Knicks going in? Are they going to build around Randall? Are they going to build around the young guys? I think this draft showed us that they all in for winning now. Jalen Johnson was still on the board. Kai Jones was on the board. Isaiah Jackson was on the board. Keon Johnson was on the board. They had an opportunity to draft one of these guys with tremendous upside, and they passed.
They passed.
And they passed because they're trying to win now, and they were looking for players that's going to help us now. Agree or disagree, I mean, I would have liked them to take a shot on one of them young guys and stash them because I think they're going to be good down the line. But they might have felt we got a lot of young guys as it is, you know? I don't know. But that gave me an inkling that they're trying to win right now.
Yep, absolutely. That's exactly right. Because on draft night, I was telling everybody the same thing. I was like, we do have a lot of young guys already. You know what I mean? And, you know, they trying to preserve that cap space. They got enough. They get a couple. They about 2 or 3 pieces away, depending on who the 2, 3 pieces are, to make this team good. You know what I mean? And so I think that what they doing it, I think they did the right way. I really do believe that they put themselves in a position, and just in case, you know, like I said, that the Damian Lillard situation goes amok, and then that really does happen. They got the money for it. You know what I mean? Salute to Evergreen. Salute, G. Peace to you, my brother.
Right.
Yep,
and they got the pieces too.
Exactly.
I like Quickly. Don't get me wrong, but if they trade them, they got Grimes, they got McBride. You know what I mean? So I think it does give them flexibility if they do include some of our young players in the trade, that they still have some other young players that they got in this draft that can be in the rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, oh my God, don't do this to me.
We can still hear you.
You hear me? Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we can still hear you.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, good. I'm thinking, you know what? That's why I thought when they made the move the way they made them, they felt like, you know what? If we're gonna do what we're gonna do, we need to just go ahead and preserve this cap money. They saved $2.4 million and they got future draft picks. Them trade, that's tradable, and I just think that was most smart of them, man. Agree or disagree that I thought they did a good job with that Jericho Sims thing. So Jericho Sims, if they move Noel, you got a young guy. They might bring Taj back, you know what I mean? And you got a young guy down the pipeline just in case Mitch. They don't do Mitch down the line, but you got a guy who can come and give you the same type of stuff. And I think it was so awesome, man. So I wasn't even mad on draft night. I think I was more mad because we got to the 19th pick, Steph, and then we traded out. They're like, man, now we got to wait again. That's
right. And the same thing at 21 and the same thing at 32. But at 32, to move down 2 spots and get 2 players.
That's willing and dealing.
That's willing and dealing right there. And shout out to Josh, who put me on the Jericho Sims. I wasn't really even before the draft. And after the draft, I went back and looked at, his highlights and what have you. I think he's going to be able to help us. He's fundamentally sound. He can rebound for us. He could block shots a little bit. But what I really like about him is that he's switchable because of his lateral quickness. So on that pick and roll, he can be with the guards just for a little bit until they switch back. So I love bigs that can switch on the defensive end, and he's one of them. And I think with our development staff, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think he's that. I can't wait to next week's summer league. I want to see these young boys. I'm so excited about summer league, man. I think once you get to see these guys ball on a regular basis, you're gonna really see McBride. These cats are ball hogs too. I mean, they dogs, man. You could tell their mentality. That's why him and Grimes, I'm like, Tibb knew who to go get. He like, I'm just going to get anybody who can come in the Madison Square Garden and can't handle this mess. You know what I mean? Yep, you can't handle this mess. The bright light might be too big for you. I think he did a good job in doing that. I think he really did a great job of saying these guys got mentality that will fit this team. Rather, RJ, when they drafted my man, he called that night, congratulations, let's get to work. You know what I mean? That's awesome to see. So, but I'm hoping we do get that point guard for sure. And if we can get that point guard to bring down here in New York, man, just to whether it's Derrick Rose or not. See, Derrick Rose, I want him back, but I do think we need a starter point guard. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it.
Right. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it. And I'm even concerned about Derrick Rose's injury, even at 20 minutes a game.
Mhm.
I'm still concerned about the injuries. But if they bring him back, I'm not mad. But I got to be honest, if they don't bring him back, I'm not mad either.
Not at all. Yep. Because I think what you do is I think Valdoda could be a backup point guard in the NBA. His skill set to me is that good. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, much I love the guy we had over the years, but I haven't seen too many of them can shoot on the dribble like him, could pull up like a pass like him. He can get in the lanes. I mean, granted we had Alpha Payton could do things like, but they can't do it at his level. I mean, that guy, he just got skill. To me, he got lava ball skills, but can get in the lane though.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's so impressive. So, he had 7 points last night in the second half, dagger threes, nice. I mean, the kid his vision is unbelievable. He got like Mark Jackson vision to me. So,
right.
Good to see a guy like him, maybe get that second nod. But you got interchangeable pieces there with him quickly can he play some point guard.
Right.
That's why I don't think the Knicks tripping too much. With the Derrick Rose situation, I think we got guys who can play both positions on that team.
Right.
And hopefully that pans out. But I do think we need somebody on another level. You know what I mean? On another level. Because after what we've seen in the playoffs last year, we don't repeat that. But I think you had the right point guard that might could have made a difference. Settle somebody down.
Right.
Calm down like a Kyle Lowry.
Right.
Yeah, just got a little bit of leadership there. He knows how to say, all right, we know we need to, step back a minute, or you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think that's important. But I can't wait to Sunday. I think Rokas, CT from the streets of Buzzing, he was telling he's going to be in summer league.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
Wow.
Confirm that he's going to be there. I mean, you got him, McBride, Obi, quickly. I don't know
Sims.
If Sims, right, and both Sims, because we signed the other Sims from Cleveland. Right. So I think it's going to be pretty good. What do you think about Jonathan? He said Reggie Jackson should be a target.
I mean, I think they have him in tiers. I don't think he would be my first target, but if they can't get who they want to get, then yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he showed up last year in the playoffs, though.
Yeah.
I think if Kawhi Leonard did, and I don't think Phoenix would even been in the playoffs. To be honest with you, but not playoffs, but in the finals. Excuse me. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. But that's interesting right here. What's his name? Mav Sika. The selection the Knicks made in the draft made me learn more about what it's like in players. Absolutely, I agree 100%. He wanted a certain type of style, certain type of energy to play it, man. He just don't want anybody there, man. Right. Salute to you, Mo Sika, man. Y'all like and subscribe, man, and hit the thumbs up. Me and the Queen in the building. Knicks Real Talk. We in here. We doing our thing on a Sunday. We chilling. We got Queen's Corner here holding down with me. I appreciate you, sister, coming in. Everybody in the chat, y'all know what it is. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Y'all keep it popping, man. We got it going on up in here today, man. And but yeah, and even with the Mitchell Robinson situation with the extension on there, that was the right thing to do. Obviously, he's supposed to do that.
Right.
I think the Knicks are going to see how if they don't. I heard an inkling in here on Bleacher Report that they talked to 4 or 5 teams about Mitch. How true that is, I do not know, guys. It's only from the sources on the out there in the platforms and on the media.
Right.
But his 1.8 million. You let him go through the start of the season. By the trading deadline, you would know either you're gonna extend him or you're gonna let him go. So it's not a bad situation to have with Mitch for $1.8 million. And I'm hoping the guy comes and balls out, man. And because I'm a Mitchell Robinson guy. I love what he do, man. But let's see what he did since that foot went down, what he learned it all season, and see that he matured his game a little bit in the post. He said he did, and things that he's been working on his post game and all them things. So let's see, because the man wound up doing the right thing. He could be something. Mitchell Robinson should get it. Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan said Mitchell Robinson should get about 3 years, $50 million. So you talk about what 15, 16. I think his 4-year deal is $48 million, guys, which is not bad.
Right. That's 12, right?
12, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would go with that.
Absolutely. If they could lock him up, for 4 years at $12 million, and like I said, especially if you come in and you start balling out, then you just go ahead and make it happen. You know what I mean? He got familiarity. Now I do want to see the Knicks finally extend somebody. You know what I mean? I just got to see. We've been watching this for a long time. Ain't been too many Knicks extensions going on around here in Knick land over the last so many years. So I like to see.
Right.
sure, man. Other than signing the 1 year deal with Peyton and all these guys, I want to see the Knicks sign somebody, man, to an extension. But we'll see, guys. That's an interesting quotes out there. Reggie Jackson would be nice, man. I like Reggie's game. Nick Watts, Nick's Worldwide said he could be a trade piece. I think if they trade him, you'll get some value from Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I think he could do a lot of things that some of these guys can't do. And I know it's a lot of rim runners, but to me, he's a little bit more than a rim runner. The way he played defense, guard that paint. I mean, the guy's all over the place, man. I mean, I never forget that game in his rookie year when he fell to the floor, got up and ran to the baseline. I'm like, okay, you don't get too many dudes who gonna do stuff like that in the NBA.
And not just that, his pick and roll defense.
Mm-hmm.
We need that. You need a big that can operate out on the wing, even for a little while. I'm not saying you got to be able to guard a guard for the entire possession, but at least for a few seconds until the guard who is picked off can get back.
Absolutely.
And he's able to do that. And listen, I'm not saying we would have won that Atlanta series, but that definitely would have helped us on the pick and roll, just the way he plays, his ability to kind of be disruptive out on the wing, get back in position, in the post for block shots and what have you. So that part I think is underrated for Mitchell Robinson. And I used to do that too. I used to be like, listen, he's replaceable, under 10 points, under 10 rebounds, 1 block a game. We can get that, and we can. But that pick and roll defense, you can't underrate that.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's so important, because if you can hold that point guard for maybe a second or two and let somebody react and recover.
Right.
Yeah, man, that makes a big difference. And,
No doubt.
especially that guys like Trae Young and them. I mean, that, like you said, it showed in the playoffs where, you got to be able to have a guy who can, and if you do try to go in there and do, because he kind of literally could lurk over you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, and if you did, then you got somebody who could switch it when they get ready to throw that lob. But I do love it. I do love the chance that Mitchell Robinson, injury healed, he come back here at 275, which he said he is, and muscle down, and he's doing his thing. You just got to look at it, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to look at it for sure. But so I think him. Then you got RJ essentially coming up 2 years later. So we do got to maintain. If we're gonna sign these guys, and RJ, they were saying something that they did. They asked for Orlando. They asked for that Suggs deal, but the Knicks didn't want to put RJ in that deal.
Oh, they was asking for RJ.
RJ and some other pieces, yeah, but they
that's a bit much for somebody that's not proven.
Right. Right.
That's a bit, nah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, salute Shaw Power. Salute my brother, man. You already know, like and subscribe, man. We appreciate you coming in here on Knicks Real Talk. Appreciate your chats. He said we will have 5 starters that we pick up to 4 in the draft pick coming filling 22. Absolutely. Nick P said Norman Powell, 4 years, 72 million, 4 years. Oh, Trent Jr., 4 years, 72. Powell, 4 years, 88.
Both of them?
Yeah, that's your cap space right there, but not all of it, but it's close.
Yeah,
close.
I think one of them, because they both undersized, and if you start both of them, where's RJ gonna play? So I think maybe one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think we can use both of them. I think they got guys like them in the draft. I think McBride, and Grimes are them type of ball players. So, if you can get one of them, I'm cool with it. But I don't know if I would bring in 2, just like I said, because I think Achilles heel last year, to me, was tight. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? In that playoffs, man, I'm like, if Julius Randle if his jump shot ain't falling like he wanted to, and he only 6'8", 6'9", and you around trees down there, it's just hard to get shots up over them guys, man. And I think sometimes that could be a kind of a a curse to a degree, in that sense. So, I would like a lanky small forward. That's the only thing that intrigued me about Kelly Oubre, is because of his length. He's lanky. Yep. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Yes, ma'am.
Knicks Worldwide said, what are the small forward options? That position is so thin in free agency. Oubre is there. Duncan Robinson is there. It's real lean. Let me pull it up. It's really lean. That's why I was thinking about going with a shooting guard and moving RJ over, because Kawhi Leonard, who may return to LA. Otto Porter Jr. I'm not big on Otto Porter Jr., not as a starter. Andre Iguodala. Will Barton is out there. He's had a somewhat of an injury history. I wouldn't be mad at Will Barton.
Right.
Justin Winslow, negative. Trevor Ariza to start. I think his starting days are probably behind him.
Yeah, he don't move the needle for me.
Right. Doug McDermott, Reggie Bullock, Stanley Johnson, Morris Harkless. You know what I mean? There really isn't um Anthony Lamb. There really isn't, other than Kawhi, Kelly Oubre, Will Barton. Who else?
Right.
Maybe Doug McDermott. Bring Reggie Bullock back. I mean, that's more forward position. We need a wing, but I don't see a lot of options in free agency.
Yeah. None of them guys that you mentioned to me could start for me on the Knicks.
Right.
Other than Oubre and obviously Kawhi Leonard, the creme de la creme, but I think he's gonna stay in LA. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think he stays in LA. I do like that thing they were talking about with the Terrence Ross situation, at least getting them here. I think the Knicks try to work. If they can get that off, I would definitely.
Right. They're gonna have to trade for a small forward. What do you think about Wiggins trading for Wiggins? I don't even know if he's still available now.
Right. Yep. That's why I think the Oubre thing. That's why I don't think they're gonna sign Oubre because of him. They got him on the contract, and he had a good year for them last year.
Right.
And he fits the way they play basketball over there too. You know what I mean? He could spot up, shoot a three. You know what I mean? And his defense got really nice last year.
Mm-hmm.
BX said Cam Reddish via trade.
The only thing about that is, I don't know, Devon. I need some shooters that can knock it down consistently. You know, that's why I was so happy about the draft. You know, Grimes and McBride, they can shoot.
Yep.
You know, I was like, if we get Duarte, we get Trey Murphy. Yes, they may be limited in other areas, but they can shoot. Like, I want somebody that can shoot on that wing consistently.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Ross is a little inconsistent too, I believe, shooting wise.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know what? And that's the only thing kind of had me annoyed with Reggie Bullock last year. One game he give you 5 threes. Then the next game he give you no threes. You know what I mean? It's like, but I cannot knock that mad defense. And his rapport with Julius Randle. Now, if one thing Julius Randle, one thing about Reggie Bullock, he had a good rapport with Julius Randle on the court.
He definitely did.
Yeah, he know where to find that guy. But he said Tony Snell. I think, to me, the Knicks need a 3 that can go get it. Like you said, we need a 20-point scorer per game 3. On any given night, this cat gonna give you 20 points. You know what I mean? Yeah. I cannot pay nobody $20 million, $17 million. These cats is not going to be able to get it for us on a regular basis. Because that case you sign Reggie Bullock and keep there and just do what we have with him.
And just roll it over to the next year until we can find somebody. Like, I want the Knicks to build out this roster, but I want them to be smart about it. Mm-hmm. Right? Don't just, we weren't able to get who we get, so we just gonna give this person $20 million for 4 years. Nah. We just roll it over to the next year until we find that person that we want. You know?
Yep. And Jonathan said Brian Forbes. I think they're gonna sign him. I think he's going. I don't think Milwaukee gonna let him roll. Maybe that boy can knock that ball down though. I ain't gonna lie. You know, like I said, but I think people gotta really say Grimes gonna play in that rotation. And he got NBA game, and him and McBride. So I do think that you know, that's.
You think Quickly is gone? Like, where does Quickly, if in that second team, if you got McBride at the 1, Grimes at the 2, where you putting Quickly, I guess, or maybe you could put Grimes at the 3. He's 6'5", you know.
Yep. You know what? Knowing Tiz with his 10-man rotation, I gotta really at the free agency tomorrow, or after we finish dealing what we dealing, I have a better rationale on where they're gonna play these guys. Because I'm like, you right though. You think about, if you look at what we got now, you got right now Quickly, Valdoza, Grimes, McBride, who else at the 2? Well, them about the only 4, really, right?
Yeah, because wow.
So
Yeah.
I mean, so you got to go spend some money on the starting point guard.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You got to make that happen. You got to make that happen.
Some guys that we think is going to be in the rotation may be situational.
Mhm.
That's Tibbs' term. They may
Tibbs'
be
term.
situational.
Mhm. Yeah, they're gonna have to earn their money. Hey, salute to Antoine Nichols for coming in, shouting all you guys, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for the brother. Nick's Real Talk, man. We ain't here all
Malik
the time.
Monk.
Man. Yes,
But that's the point, Antoine Nicholas said, what's your take on Malik Monk? That's the point I'm trying to make. There's more 2 guards than there are 3 guards. And do we think RJ can play the 3 if we went that route and signed a 2 guard?
Yep, absolutely. I think that might be. I agree with you on that. I think move RJ to the 3. I think the way he played the game, he can handle it. He almost could play point forward. He got skills like that. I think RJ, people underestimate his pass skills, but I think you can get him at the 3. I don't have no problem with that whatsoever. Because I think now he probably got a little bit more advanced since end of the season. You know, he was in the Canada Olympics. He was in the Olympic qualifying for the Olympics. He got to put work on his game. And guys working on their game now. You know, and I do think I think he could play that 3. And that's why if you do that, I'm okay with Norman Powell, Trent, and all them guys. You know, if you move RJ to the 3, then we need the 1 and the 2. You know what I mean? If you move RJ, if you keep RJ at the 2, we need the 1 and the 3.
Right.
I like that with Mike Lugo. I was Norman Powell guy, but Divine sold me on Oubre. I like Oubre, and so absolutely, I just think that the guy got the right length, man. He can make that happen, for sure. TJ.
I like TJ Warren too.
Yes, that boy get bucket. Yes. Now, if you can pull that deal off,
I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, and that, you know what? Because that's interesting too. With Clives LeVert out there, you know, at that 3 down there, who starts there? You know what I mean?
Right.
Do they keep? Unless they gotta move LeVert at the 2.
Right.
So you know that's an interesting station. But I love some TJ Warren down here. We need a scorer like that. Somebody who can literally get buckets like that. And that kid can get it. So yeah, I think the good thing about it, man, we are in a good situation no matter how we look at it. We got an opportunity to make this roster better because everybody else is getting better. I don't think Boston finished.
Right.
I do think Indiana had a good draft.
No doubt about it.
They had a good.
They got the guy I wanted. I wanted Duarte.
Yeah, man. Him. That's what makes it interesting. Him, Karis LeVert. Them cats can knock the ball down, and you know that's what's interesting about Doug McDermott because they did get Duarte. You know, do that makes him expendable. It might make him expendable. But yeah, out of that, I'm big on the Sexton thing. I'm hoping that without giving up too much, we can land him. And if you're gonna sign him, extend him, then so be it. But man, that dude, man, listen, that boy, people that don't really get down with sex like that. Sexton a ball though.
He could definitely ball. I'm just concerned about. Listen, the only concern I have is him getting in that lane. And if you got it, take it. And if you don't, pass it to somebody. If he do that, I'm good money with Sexton. I've just seen so many times when he just forced it. I wouldn't even say forced it because he made the shot. He's that talented. He can finish at the rim. But if he can mix it up, where you don't, like, he gonna take it sometimes and he gonna pass it out to the open shooter. I think he has the potential to be an elite guard in this league. You look at the John Walls, the Lillards, the Steph Currys. These are all guys that can get their shot and pass it out, and that's what makes them dangerous. If he can ever get like that, it's a wrap because he has the defense. He can shoot the 3, the mid range. He can get to the rack. He has all of it, you know. So if he gets that part of his game, it's a wrap. And I think he can. You know, I think he can. But a lot of people, even, you know, people who do this for a living, will say that they feel that he's more of a 2 guard. He's more of an undersized 2 guard than a point guard. But we'll see.
Yep. Yeah, I know what. And for me, with him, he's a gym rat. He's a worker. He's a gym rat, and them the guys that I want on the Knicks, gym rat. Somebody who say, you know what, I want to get better. You know what I mean? This cat is a gym rat. You know, he's always in the gym. You know, all our Randall and all these guys, man. I just think we need guys to fit the culture that we got going on up here in New York, man. You come in here, you get in the gym, put your work in, get yourself better. But one thing I would say, I wonder how it would have been different if Garland wasn't there. His assist might would have went up more, knowing that you playing with another point guard who literally is a point guard.
Right.
How would that, But I think in this system with the Knicks, I think Johnny Bryant them might get the best out of him. They and I think and the coaches he had the last couple of years, John Beeline, and he don't respect him. Yeah, come on, man. Now coming in here with a coach like Tibbs, who demand that accountability and that respect, I just think it'd be a whole different. They could turn that boy into a monster. I think we got the right personnel in that organization to shape and mold Colin Sanders. Listen, you love the bright lights anyway. Now that's what I do like about him. He would love to play in Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Yeah, him and that what I do. I like that from that standpoint because I do think that he will fit and with the organization down there, man, and do well. Craig Wright, salute Craig Wright, man. We see you, my brother. Appreciate you coming in. Craig Wright said Lowry and DeRozan. If you can get both of them, to throw in that in 1 and 2, I don't have no problem with that either.
I'm not mad at that either. And you know what? Just listening to you guys' takes on things has changed my mind on a lot of things. Sexton is one, and DeRozan is another. I wasn't really high on DeRozan either because he can't really shoot the three, but he is an elite, and I mean an elite mid-range scorer. I'm not mad at that. If we have enough 3-point shooters around him, I'm not mad at him. And the way he can distribute the ball, he's more like a point forward as well. 6 point something assists per game. So you imagine the offense, they ain't gonna know where. Randall can get it and bring it down. DeRozan can get it and bring it down. RJ can do it, initiate the offense. So in a situation like that, Divine, now I don't really mind Sexton because it's not like you putting the ball in his hand and he's the only playmaker. You got DeRozan, you got Randall, you got RJ. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and with the and not only that, with Kyle Lowry knocking down 3 from the top of the key and all over the place, you put DeRozan and Lowry in that backcourt, 2 veterans with experience, know the game, and they not trying to be the man neither. They know this is Randall's team, but I think Kyle Lowry, DeRozan, RJ, Randall, and Mitch, that definitely got us in the top 4 to me in the East.
Yeah. Now Lowry, I would want on a 2-year contract.
Absolutely. Yeah,
but that team, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And down the stretch, any of them guys can. We don't have to depend on Randall to take the last second shot. Lowry could take a last and DeRozan. I've seen him do that plenty of times.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That would be to me a good signing for us due to the fact that they experience. And DeRozan not looking for the bank. He's willing to take a pay cut to go to the Lakers.
Right.
But he's not even trying to really the break the bank. Them cats don't have their backs and everything. But boy, you get them. You can get Lowry. Put like this here: Cal Lowry, DeRozan, and Carmelo Anthony. Them 3 veterans to New York. I'm good, man. I'm dead serious. I am good. When the playoffs come, you got cats who will not choke. Them cats are not choking in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that'd be so important. So we do got a good range of thoughts and ideas that about it, and the way we can go about it as well. I think the Knicks are in a good spot, people. I mean, I really do, and I just think that we just have to, just do it. Believe in the front office and believe in what they're going to do. Because I think to me, I think the draft was good. I think for what they could get and what they did to pick up 2 extra picks and draft all. I never thought we were drafting 4 players. I was like, there's no way we drafted all. They drafted all 4 picks, got 2 extra picks, and saved $2.7 million to go to their cap. Like I said, I'm a businessman myself, and that's what it's about. It's about wheeling and dealing. And
definitely maximizing your assets. I wonder if all 4 of them make it to training camp. Well, one of them is going to be a stash. I wonder if all 3 of them make it to training camp. Probably so, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah, probably so. I just think there's going to be some trades. I think we're going to lose some young players in some trades before the season starts.
I do too. I agree. I was saying the same thing. I was telling everybody, Knicks ain't going in there. They on a different mission. They a couple of players away from really. If I guess what I'm trying to say is, if Tom Thibodeau could get the team he had last year to 41 wins in a 4th spot in the East with the players that he had, Oh my God, you throwing a couple of guys. I mean, they in the East, they in it. Look what Trey Young them did. That's why I try to make it realistic about this here. They had Trey Young and average dudes like John Collins and Capella. I mean, these are not household names. Your food chain,
Right.
And look where they got them dudes at. So I think Tom Thibodeau with that team, and they get about 3 veterans there who really could do it. You ain't got to give them 4 years. Give them a couple of years on the deal and roll with it. You know what I mean? And roll with it.
Right.
Yep. Salute Camilio. We see you, Camilio. Salute.
Yeah, salute. Somebody said, I think it was Alton Lee that was asking whether or not the Knicks is going to build around Randall or the young guys. But I think the draft answered that. I think if they was going to build around the young guys, they would have took more young players with upside, because a lot of them, like I mentioned earlier, was on the board. The fact that they didn't take any of them young guys, including Jalen Johnson, who was supposed to be, was mocked as a lottery pick before he started falling due to like off the court concerns, like him leaving Duke. The fact they didn't take any of them guys makes me think that they trying to win now. They trying to build around Randall and win now, as opposed to building around RJ. That's what I got from the draft picks.
Yeah, I agree. I second that as well. I knew they just wanted to get some guys. That's why they after Grimes, they like, let's fall back. No need to put guys on a roster, paying them $2.something million if they're not going to really help us right now. So I think they did it wisely. They got talent enough to help them, at least to make the team. But they look like them guys is almost like on no guaranteed deals almost, other than Grimes. You know, to me, them deals are nothing. So I think they did it right, and because I think they're going for it. And like I said, you got to keep an eye on the Knox $5.something million. Let's say they move Knox for hypothetically, not saying they gonna. If they needed more money, then they move Knox for a second,
right?
Or whatever. You know what I mean? Free up that $5 million. So you got to think they're going for it. You know, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And they did. Think about it, over the last 4 years, Steph. They did bring guys in. They brought Mitch in. They brought RJ in. They brought Obi in. They brought Quickly in. They brought Knox in. You know, they kept their players. You know what I mean? They kept guys. You know. So it wasn't. And I got to salute Tom Thibodeau last year, and everybody thought that he wasn't going to play young guys. He played Obi back up the whole season. He let Emmanuel Quickly start the whole season at the backup. So he gave RJ his chance to shine, you know, and so I think you got to salute him for that. But I do think that's interesting. Jonathan Dragic, I don't have a problem with him either. You know, for the right price, veteran dude who can get it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's hard to see if that Miami don't bring him back just because of how long he's been there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank Mato, salute, my brother. Sergeant, salute to you as well. Y'all in the building, man. Y'all keep it coming, man. Camilio, he said, excuse me, let me get Sergeant S. Powers and Shop House at Knox and Frank. Stay if Dame come to New York. Nah.
They didn't pick up Frank's option. That just came out recently, within the last few hours. Now they could still sign him. I don't think so though. Maybe. I mean, they could still bring him back, but I don't know. He
might get a deal for somebody else. I can see him going. I can see Popovich signing him. You know, just to have somebody who's a defense star like a la Dejounte Murray. You know what I mean? Somebody who can fill that role. You can see going out to San Antonio. Because, Frank, his defense, man, you don't get a lot of that in the NBA. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he can contribute to another team. And I'm a Frank guy, but it's time to move on because I do think that they about to go get it, man. I think they're going to get a couple of players that could really get them because you just don't never know. You look at Brooklyn last year. Look what happened to them. Salute my man, Pud tonight. Salute to you, my brother. Brooklyn, injuries. That stuff going to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you just never know. You get the right at the right time. You never know what can happen. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, like, wow, these cats went down. Now I'm in the Eastern Conference Finals. You never know. So.
Anything can happen. You want to construct a roster that at least puts you in position. That if something happens, you can move on to the next round. I think that's what the Knicks are going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They going. I think we had me in the chat and the panel had a discussion on this last week. The Knicks got to get. They can't. They got to get to another level. No matter whether it's the sixth or eighth or whatever spot they in, but they got to get to that second round or higher. I just think that I don't think the Knicks they're going to allow themselves to just go back this year and finish again in the first round. I don't think this
Right.
do that.
Right. And listen, the Knicks have to get better, but they can still finish 4 through 6, and I'm okay because the 4 was arbitrary. The 4th spot between them, Atlanta, and Miami, they was basically tied, and it was tiebreakers that got the Knicks into the 4th seed. So, as long as the Knicks finish, I would love 4 again, but 4, 5, 6. I'm okay. The big thing for me is getting past the first round. That's how you know there's going to be improvement.
Yep.
And Randall getting better in the playoffs. I got to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
it.
Yeah, to me, that tells me whether you sign Randall or not.
That's right. That's right.
You gotta wait to see what Randall do in the playoffs this year. If Randall going to the playoffs and ball out, now we talking. If Randall can't have another playoff like he had last year, expect to get extended from me. From a business standpoint,
no. Exactly. And this is one of the reasons, Devon, I don't want to give up any assets right now for a all-star or NBA player because I'm not 100% sure what I have in Randall. I feel like I got to see him one more time. If I see him and he rocks out in the playoffs, now I feel like we can go big game hunting. I know I already got one for sure because if he has another all-NBA season and he performs well in the playoffs, you got to give him his money. He's it. We got one. Now I feel like, all right, now we can start trading people, giving up assets to bring somebody to play with him. I think it's a bit premature to do it this season, though. Absolutely. I mean, you kind of rolling the dice a little bit, kind of saying, I think he's that one, but I would like to know for sure before I start giving up assets.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% on board with that because, like I said, to me, he still is an undersized 4 in the days NBA. He can get it, but man, like I said, if that jump shot don't click all the time and he can't get down that middle. I remember one time Randall would put his shoulder down and go straight. He's not doing that on as much as he used to. So I'm concerned if that jump shot off in the playoffs,
right,
he becomes one-dimensional. And we can't out one-dimensional players. I just think we're in a different NBA right now. I'm not giving $20 million above to these cats, and all they doing is shooting the ball. But I do think this is a big year for him and Mitch. Like they said, man. We got to see how it go, man. Real quick, everybody, man. Salute to the chat, man. Y'all got a fires popping off in there. My click button moving much as y'all throwing them, but I'm with y'all though. But salute to the chat. Y'all know that's where it's at. And salute to everybody out there, man. I got the Queen in the building from Queens Court. Y'all already know, go down to NBK, man. And when you see that notification, jump on there because the Queen got the fire. Y'all already know. And man. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Like I said, it ain't no all season to me. It just ain't. There is no all season. I mean, this year was going to be like we made it to the playoffs. Now we got free agency coming up. We got the draft, the lottery. I mean, it was like
summer league coming. Boom, boom, bam. Right?
Yeah, word up. And after that, next thing you know, it's September. A month later, after that, training camp starts.
Right.
Starts on October the 19th or something of that nature.
Right.
So it is like nah. So I'm glad though, man. That means that just show you that Knicks got us excited again as a fan base. I'm so happy about that, man, because we've been rough the last 8-9 years, but there's light at the end of the tunnel with this organization, so I'm kind of happy with that. And but yeah, I'm dying to see. I'm gonna watch the rest of the Olympics. I got my, I think this guy. I still think Valdoza is gonna shock a lot of people. To me, I just been watching his film. I just think that he's gonna be able to contribute to this team. This guy getting that, the way he throw that past that basketball is amazing to me. I'm like, I could see RJ him running on a break, him and quickly and Obi. And this cat's got the hockey assist going on, the vision, and man, I just think that he got a chance to do something special with this team, and I hope it works out because we do need. Pud Nice Rockets is playing the summer league, man. That's gonna be interesting, for sure. And salute to Craig Wright. Salute, we already see you, Craig. Salute to you, my brother. And Kevin Milton said Evan Fournier to the Knicks is everywhere. It might be official, Knicks family. It's just a matter of how many years.
I hope it's not 4 years, 80 million.
Yeah, and notice we didn't hear about teams asking for Randall as a trade piece. Nah, because Knicks wasn't giving him up.
Yeah,
not a trade piece. That's you can't give a 20-something a game or double and shooting 40 from 3. You ain't giving that up. And the Knicks ain't trying to do that. They gonna see how this year go with Randall. They're gonna play it out. I think they're gonna play it out. And because it's a business. Randall ain't stupid. He been around a long time. He know how the game go.
I wonder if he's gonna take an extension, or is he gonna bet on himself and go into free agency for that $200 million. But if he doesn't take the extension, he goes into free agency next year for $200 million. If he balls out this year and he balls out in the playoffs, you got to pay him.
You got to pay him.
You got to pay him. If he becomes All NBA for 2 years in a row, you got to pay that man and performs in the playoffs. That's key for me.
Yeah.
You got to pay him.
Yeah, that's the biggest hurdle for me. That playoff. He got to show us that. Listen, I'm going to get you dudes over the hump. But I think it can make a difference with a point guard this year. I really hope we get a point guard. I just think that we get the right point guard. I think we'd be in the house. Frank Mantle, Kawhi Leonard, the Claw is a free agent. Yeah, man. You know how much I love the Claw, but he scared me with these injuries, bro. Oh my God, I love this guy.
And you know what? Not just the injuries, Devon. He scares me because this is a guy. If he don't feel he right, he not playing.
He not playing. Oh.
You know what I mean? So he's. I don't know him personally, obviously, but he's reminded me of the name. He just reminds me of just one of them players. I'm not saying he's not all in. I'm not saying he's not committed, but I think because he's been through so much with medical staff saying he's all right when he's really not all right. He's extra careful and he's extra suspicious of medical staff. And so if he don't feel right, he's not playing, period. So he got his own load management. You know what I mean? So I would have to pass on him for that reason, but not because of him as a player. I mean, obviously he's one of the best.
That's my only gripe with that, believe it or not, is that I'm concerned just the injury. I'm a Kawhi dude, but man, you get that dude almost close to $200 million, and he come off a torn ACL, and next thing you know, that load management kicks in. Look what happened to the Clippers in the playoffs this year. Without Kawhi Leonard, they should have been in the finals. They could have been in the finals.
Right.
It's just, and that's the conundrum that people like Kawhi put you in. If you don't stay healthy. And granted, you want everybody to get paid, man. I'm one thing about me. I'm about capitalism. I want to see these guys get their money. Right. But from a New York Knicks standpoint, and our organization just getting it back together, we just getting back to respectability and all that good stuff. Right. I just don't want somebody like we got another Antonio McDyess situation or another Amari Stoudemire situation. And damn, man, we 200 into this cap, and now we can't even move him because he's not playing.
Right.
That's my scare. That scares me right there. That's it. Right. Other than that. If you tell me, the doctors tell me that Kawhi Leonard going to be fine and they can say that this cat not going to have no worries, of course you go get a guy like that at 3. You know what I mean? Let him run a Toronto thing back with him and Kyle Lowry.
Right.
But I don't know, Elton, you think Kawhi leaving San Diego where he went to high school at, where he went to college at, San Diego State. He playing with the Clippers right in his backyard. And that's what I mean, Elton. I'm scared he could turn into Stoudemire. That thing scared me, bro. For real. Other than that, I wouldn't have a problem with him. But I would love to see another person I want to keep my eye on. I want to keep my eye on that Charlotte situation. I do want to see what they're gonna do down there. If they're gonna keep them all them point guards they got. You know what I mean? I think LaMelo got to start next year.
Right.
And so how did that bode with Terry Rozier? I really think that's another guy to keep in there. I like Terry Rozier too.
I like him too.
Yes, indeed. Right, yeah, absolutely, man. We just starting to build and get this thing right. So no need to take a. Now that won't be taking a step back if he get injured. That might set the franchise back. You know what I mean? If Kawhi Leonard get injured. Now that's why I would tell people, what would you rather have? A player making $30 million getting injured, or Mitchell Robinson getting 1.8 getting injured?
Right.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I said, man. One thing about Mitch. you're still getting for 8.8 rebound a game on not even $2 million worth of money. I mean,
Right.
I'm like, it's a tough place for us to be in this Knicks fan, man, because we want to get this thing popping. I think we will. So we'll see tomorrow night, Steph. I think the floodgates open tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Russell Westbrook thing was going to be where the dominoes start to fall, and people going to start willing dealing. Now, here, what about in Houston with the John Wall? You think he stays in Houston and just?
I don't think he stays in Houston, and then also in Sacramento. I'm wondering if one of those point guards are going to shake loose with the drafting of Davion Mitchell. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of point guards may be available in trades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I'm keeping an eye on too. When they drafted Davion Mitchell, I'm like, okay, him, Halliburton. You know what I mean? You got De'Aaron Fox. I wonder what their game plan is down there because obviously they're gonna be thinking about what about Marvin Bagley?
Yeah, the power forward, he may be available too. And somebody also said Cole in Orlando, because remember Orlando picked up Suggs. So wow. Some people may shake through, but I think the Knicks might be looking for more experience.
Experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think they're not trying to bring an average point guard in here. They got them on the roster already. Right. They're looking for somebody. That's what I like about Colin Sexton. We haven't had a point guard like that dude. If you take away, despite he's not facilitating like we know because we don't watch him on a daily basis.
Right.
But, he's in Cleveland, but I wonder how he might differ without Garland next to him, who holding the point guard spot down. They go back and forth because I think they go. But we haven't had a point guard in New York in a minute that could really. I mean, since Derrick Rose came the first time.
Right.
Right. So I'm hoping that we go find the right guy, man, who can really come in here. Cause I like what Boston did. Boston got Al Horford. They brought in Josh Richardson, and I like Josh Richardson. I think out there with Luka Doncic, and he couldn't really get his footing out there.
Right.
He's a good defender. Coming through the Pat Riley system, getting drafted. I think he that helps Boston a great deal down there with him and Jaylen Brown on that defense. We ain't gonna be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. And now you got to send like Al Horford and Tatum. I think they're gonna go get a point guard. You got Marcus Smart still down there. You got to watch them cats defense next year. I just think that's gonna be a good defending team, man. So that's why I want to see the Knicks go ahead and get it. Pudge Nice saying Sexton, RJ, Oubre, Randall, Mitch. That's where I'm at. Pudge. That's where I'm at. I like the size. I like the age wise. They all fit the timeline. RJ still a man. Sexton can get you 20. RJ probably go up close to 20 this year. Oubre gets you 16, 17, and Mitch doing what he do. Mm-hmm. And that defense team is special too. So if you don't go big game hunting, that's where I would like to end up right there with Pudge Nice guy. If we don't go big game hunting, if we don't go for it all, I would love a team like that because I just think that's a good mold to build around for the next couple of years until we go on to the next year and do what we're gonna do.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yo, salute to everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all throwing it, man.
Definitely.
Y'all got it popping off in here. I got the Queen's Court in the building with me, man. Y'all like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, run them up, man. Y'all already know Knicks Real Talk. We in the building. We all over the place, man. Let's get it. And Pudge Nice say Plan C. Plan C gonna bring back the people who was here last year.
There you go. Minus Alfred Payton.
Right. Might bring back everybody. But I don't think they're gonna be able to keep Noel. I think Noel gonna get his money.
Yeah, but this is the thing with Noel, though. His hands. I just feel like just let him go. Just let him go. I would just let him go, just because of his hands.
Mm-hmm. Yep, just because of his hands. Yeah, I think Sims could get Noel. Noel did what he's supposed to do on the defense end, but other than that, he's not a threat nowhere. He's not even a lob threat. At least Mitch was a lob threat in the offense.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he's not a threat in no form to me on the offense. So it was like, you can't get that cat $10 million. You put like this here, you can't pay him and don't pay Mitch to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that's the case, just give Mitch his $12 million a year in his extension, hoping that he stay a little bit healthy. Now I think he will. His injuries wasn't the injuries that Mitch suffered with the broken hand and in a foot. It wasn't like it was an ACL or MCL or all that stuff where it changed the trajectory of his career. I think he might come back off the injury. So let's hope. But yeah, that's a lot of money we give. Noel probably going to go back to Dallas. Well, they signed Willie Cauley-Stein, so I don't know. They did sign him back. So he got his $4 million over down there. But Toronto.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I like Willie Cauley-Stein too.
Yeah. BX. I was big on college when he first came in the draft. I was big on him, and BX is big on Willie Cauley-Stein. I think he'd be a nice fit down here as well.
Yeah, but they picked up his option.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were talking about Toronto with Noel, with a couple other teams out there with Noel, and it's interesting to see what they're gonna do with Nerlens Noel for sure. And BX says Sims might be foul prone. Need bringing vet center on cheap. Yep, absolutely. We do it. We're not gonna bring Taj back and Noel walk. I agree with you 100%. BX, we do need to bring another point guard. I mean a center to back him up.
I'm wondering who. I mean, it won't be Holmes, who I like, because you're gonna have to pay him. Yep. McGee is out there. Howard is out there. What do you think about Whiteside? Whiteside is out there. Let me see who the free agent centers are.
I don't have a problem with Whiteside, none whatsoever. Backing up Mitch. Yep, I don't have a problem with Whiteside. You know, he's not our starting center, but that length and that he definitely make a difference down there. I mean, Dwight Howard, but he talking about going back to LA.
Yeah, this is who's available: Cody Zeller, Robin Lopez, Daniel Tice, Ed Davis, Cantor, Holmes, Kaminsky, McGee, Zach Collins, Bismarck Biyombo. I would love Jared Allen, but they're going to re-sign him.
Yep.
Luke Cornett. Yeah, it's kind of slim. Drummond is down there. I think Drummond probably still thinks he's a starter. So I don't know how he would feel about backing up Mitch.
Yep.
Dwayne Dedman, DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, I like Dedman. I like Dedman too. I'm gonna tell you, if that boy can stay healthy, I would love Zach Collins.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he just seemed like he can't stay healthy for the world. Yeah, I think it was good. I think Drummond's stock fell to me in the playoffs in this year. I think he's not going to get what you think he's going to get on open market. His stock fell in the playoffs this year.
Right.
Like he did look kind of. I'm like Drummond. That ain't the Drummond I'm used to seeing. You know. So
right.
He did fall off a little bit. Off top of what about Corey Joseph? He's an interesting guy. He's been around. He got a little game with him. With the way they drafted Pudge is who's off that 5 to 10 in the point. Excuse me, 5 to 10 in the point. Salute to you for chiming in. Appreciate you. 5 to 10. 5 to 10. That's a good question. He's nice, but I'm wondering if because they brought in the guy they brought in the draft size wise, and I don't know. I think the Knicks gonna bring in somebody who's gonna help them get to another level. I don't think they're gonna bring in no average players. I think they got enough of them already. I think that's a done deal. I think that's a done deal. But yeah, it's possible. But I don't think they're gonna go that route. I think they're not gonna bring in no average guys. They're going to get somebody who's gonna make a difference. I just think that they got enough guys in there who can do these things we talking about. I think that 3. I like Patty Mills. I give you that one, Ellie. I do like Patty Mills for sure. Yeah. But man, it's definitely gonna be interesting, guys. Zach Collins, I like him, and we'll see what Portland gonna do with all that. What is the first move the Knicks will make? Is Frank Mato? That's a really good question. So what it sounds like to me is gonna be a wing. I think they're gonna, because that's about the only thing out there. They, like Steph said, the 2s and some 3s. The point guard thing is like.
You want me to read out some?
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
The point guards: Chris Paul, Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry, Schroeder, Corey Joseph, Patty Mills, Dinwiddie, Dante Exum. I haven't heard his name in a minute.
Right.
Lonzo Ball, Derrick Rose, Ish Smith, Avery Bradley, Peyton Ntilikina, Dennis Smith, McConnell. I really like McConnell. I think he's going back to Indiana, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Reggie Jackson, Austin Rivers, Dellavedova. I like him too as a backup. Devontae Graham, he's restricted though. Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne is going to get paid off of that performance.
Yes, he is.
Teague, Mike James from Brooklyn, unrestricted. Who else? Those are probably more. So it's a little deeper than a lot deeper than the small forward position.
Yeah,
though.
Absolutely. One name you brought up that was interesting. Wow, out of all them guys, there's only so many of them I think is starting point guards. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right. Paul, Conley, Lowry, Schroeder, Dinwiddie, Ball.
Yep.
That's probably it.
Yep. And I think Paul about to sign a 3-year, $90 million extension.
Mm-hmm.
I think Conley, I think Utah talking about sending him for 3 years.
Right.
They take them off the table.
Right.
Devontae Graham, he's still young, interesting, but still young, interesting. Right. But it's not a lot. And Lonzo Ball, I think Lonzo Frank, I got a feeling is going to come down to New Orleans and Chicago.
Yes, I do. I think we're going to be left, if we don't make a trade, I think we're going to be left between Schroeder and Dinwiddie. Because remember, also with Lowry, he's been mentioned in Dallas as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And then worldwide, I said Kendrick Nunn.
I didn't see Kendrick Nunn, but I think you're absolutely right. I think you're right with Kendrick Nunn. I don't know why he's not here.
Or unless he just went on cat, if he's not afraid and they're willing to move him.
I could have swore he was
Scott Cannon said, I like Enos Cannon. Scott, I know, man, you got that's what it came though, my brother.
He gonna get you them offensive rebounds, I tell you that.
Yeah, he is. Hey, BX said give him Spencer Dinwiddie.
I'm not mad at Spencer.
I don't think Spencer want to play for the Knicks. So he said something about, I was looking at our Bleacher Report, somebody, I think Bobby Marks do something on the draft board, right? So Spencer Dinwiddie responded with this, like, when I'm, and he said, I like black, I don't like orange and blue. I don't like orange, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like
Kendrick Nunn they have under shooting guard, and he's restricted.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, he said Spencer going to DC. I can definitely see that. That's the situation. Is Bradley Beal gonna stay there? Now he must be a devoted dude though, and I give him his props to be loyal like that.
I think he's staying. Yep. I don't care what they do with this roster. I think he's staying. I think he just likes DC. I think his family likes DC from what I'm hearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so I think it's like I said, it's gonna be, to me, we might have to get him in some type of trade. Unless it's Kyle Lowry, like you said, he might go the other way.
And you're gonna have to overpay for Lowry. So many people are interested in him. You're not getting him for $20 million. You may not even get him for 25. You might have to go 30.
You're gonna have to go 30. Yep. You're gonna have to at least go 2 years, 60 million. Yep. He ain't coming for no peanuts, man. He really not. So we, and like I said, with the money talks, Lonnie Washington changed colors. Yeah, I agree with you on that, for sure. Bill staying. Yep, Bill wants the agent. He wants the free agent experience in 2022. Yeah, he probably gonna get that little tour and everything like that. Stephen Mercedes slew Steve Dinwiddie to the Heat. Wow. Steve, these
other teams are upgrading, and Knicks better be on point.
They better be on point. Yeah, that's what I said. We can't become a sloucher this year, because if we think we gonna come in here with these elite young guys, the way these guys have built these rosters, we're gonna wind up in a play-in.
Because you know what? You were able to see that the first, second, and third place team had holes. And so you could see that Philly had issues, Brooklyn had issues with injuries. Milwaukee played very well, though. But still, there's an opportunity with right moves to become contenders. Like, those first three teams are not rock solid, right?
Right.
You can move up there. So I think teams are really being aggressive and trying to move into championship contention. It's just that the Knicks have more work to do because we only got 6 people on our roster.
Yep. We got to fill that out. Yeah, but I think we're going to be in there, man. Steve, Mendez, all you guys, man. Yo, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, man. Show some love, support. Y'all for coming in here. Keep coming in here. Knicks Real Talk. We ain't here tonight, man. I got the Queen Court in the building. We on here. MBK family in the house. And let's just keep it popping, man, for a while more, man. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm ready. I can't wait to Sunday, though. I'm looking forward to Sunday. If you know what, Steph, if I was Kevin Knox, I'd go back to Summer League. Just for get some burn. Get you some burn. Because you might me, it's a showcase place. you might need to showcase yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? Because you didn't get a lot of burn last year, and if not for the Knicks, for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could see how that thing go down. And that kid, I mean, I love Kevin Knox. I just think he's not a Tibbs type of player, but he's still here. You know what I mean?
Right. He is.
He's still here. I mean, I love Scott Perry for what he's doing, man. Scott Perry, like, he give these guys the opportunity, man. Listen, we brought you in here. You're part of the family. Like, he keep these guys, like Frank. Come on, Frank stay here 4 years. You know what I mean?
Right. I hope people not mad that they didn't resign Frank. I mean, he got every opportunity.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm a Frank guy. And I'm not even mad that he walked, because he did have opportunities. That just, it didn't work out the way he wanted to. But I hope he go on to have a good career. Maybe sometimes change is good. You know what I mean? Sometimes change is good. You know what I mean? He didn't fit what the Knicks are doing, but not to say he won't come back. But you never know.
Right. That's true too.
Yeah, he might have to come back on a lower deal, but you'd be surprised. He was shooting pretty good from three, but he just went through so much in New York City, man. So much. I was like, oh man, coaches, everybody, get GMs, everybody. Frank like that. Every time I get a chance, I'm bringing in somebody else different over here. So
right.
Yeah, it was tough for the brother, man. But yeah, man, it's gonna be live. I think it's gonna be on fire. It starts tomorrow night. And I'm hoping before.
I was hoping it started at midnight tonight, but it's 6 p.m.
Exactly, 6 p.m. And I think everybody get home, they're gonna be glued. I'm gonna be glued.
Yeah.
We'll see what's popping off, guys. Anything major pop off between all this the content creators, you're gonna get it. Whether it's here, whether it's down on NBK, whether it's across anywhere.
I'm gonna be on. I'll be on at 8, so I gotta be glued to my phone in case some news come on while I'm on.
Yeah, well, I'll at least get in the chat with you, man. I'll hop on. Definitely gonna show you some love, man, for sure. I appreciate you today with the show. Yeah, man, but it's interesting. I'm ready to see us ball out. I'm ready to see the Knicks get it popping. I think we're gonna have a good year. I feel good about this, man. I just hope that we can get the players that we need. I know all the fan base. I know we anticipating a lot of things. Some of them feeling like we're not gonna do it, and I get the pessimism, because we've been stuck in this rant for so long. So it's time for us to turn the tide. I think we have. I think we turned the tide. I think this regime we got now with Leon, Scott Perry, Worldwide, Tibbs, and all these guys, Brock Allah, Walt Perry, it's a whole different. It wasn't the guys like Steve Mills and all these guys who just was hanging around Dolan for all these years. We got really some wise, savvy people in the organization now who got connections, who've been amongst some of the best. Worldwide West got connections. Leon Rose, being an agent, got connections. Scott Perry got connections all over the NBA. So Tibbs got connections because he done coaching in quite a few places. So
the Olympics as well. Tibbs coached a lot of some of these guys in the Olympics as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we won away. Amani the Great, Minneapolis. Salute to you, my brother Amani. He said the Knicks need new blood because we lost games because we kept getting hurt and losing the bench. I agree with you 100% with that. People don't blame Knox, blame the organization for not developing the kid. I can second that to a degree, man, because I thought after his rookie year, he had that, I think, with that next year when Steve Milton brought in all them power forwards, Mook Morris, Bobby Portis, everybody, Todd Gibson, that Knox, I thought his next stage of his development would have been that his sophomore year. But I guess they was like, listen, we trying to get to the playoffs and do what we're going to do.
Right. And I think that might have been Dolan, too. Not necessarily Dolan not wanting them to play Knox, but Dolan putting pressure on them to win now. And that may have been why they went out and got players who they thought would help them win now. And I think that's probably what's going on now. I don't think Dolan is for this, we're going to develop the young people. We're going to, we're going to build around RJ. I think Dolan is like, I'm tired. I'm bringing in you guys right now, the creme, so that we can win right now. Don't go into this draft and bring me 4 18-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Been there, done that. I think that's what people need to recognize. They need to recognize that's where they at. You know what? I try to go back. I look at that Atlanta team. Look what Atlanta did with one dude. I mean, one dude that just straight go get it all the time. We got to get a bona fide dude down here, just who can get it. He ain't scared in a minute. Trey Young, he just not even barely get into his come out his rookie contract.
Right.
You got on any night.
We need that type of dog. I don't know. I don't know who it would be in free agency. I mean, unless you're talking about like Lowry or somebody like that, Kawhi. But
Kawhi about the only one.
Yeah, I don't know who it would be. They're gonna have to trade for somebody like that.
Yep, absolutely. That's what I think. You know what? When Leon Rosen came in last year,
Because Colin Sexton, Nice, you're right. Colin Sexton is a dog. He'd be able to get a bucket.
You can get a bucket, yeah, absolutely. And they were saying they're gonna wind up finding some disgruntled star. They're gonna get him. That was they planned, and they were talking about that from the beginning. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta hold on to that money. And the Colin Sexton, would be that a nice start. It'd be a nice start for sure.
Yeah.
They said remember that their guy was drafted by Atlanta. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And see, and that's why I don't have no problem with the RJ situation. But the difference with Trae Young, he was a top dog in the draft. Now, if RJ was drafted at 3 could become Trae Young, then that's what you do. But at the same time, they inexperienced. They lack of inexperience showed against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what people don't understand. The people who win NBA championships got veterans. They got people who've been around, know the game. Because when you get to a certain situation, which is crunch time, like Trae Young he's one in a few. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to do it like that. We didn't draft a dude like Trae Young. Mm-hmm. So he's one in them. He's one in a few. The Knicks don't have a guy who drafted in their organization that can do what Trae Young can do. You know what I mean? If RJ gonna be that dude, then we RJ probably would have what last year in the playoffs got us to another level. Trae Young got them guy to another level. RJ,
yeah, I don't think RJ is that dude. I don't think that's his game. I think, and listen, it could be he's young. Mm-hmm. He don't want to step on Randall toes. That could be part of it. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think it's part of his person. Look at Quickly, he coming out there. He gonna put up his shot. You know what I mean? He gonna play within the offense. But if there's a shot that I see, I'm gonna step out of the offense and I'm gonna take this shot. Mm-hmm. That's not RJ. He just plays within the flow of the game. If it comes to him, he'll take it. If it doesn't, he'll pass it off. That aggressiveness that I would like to see. I don't see it. And it maybe it's just because he was playing with Randall, who was really dominant and he didn't want to step on any toes. Maybe that's it.
Yep. Yeah. I think he deferred a lot to him.
Yeah.
He did defer a lot to Randall. And like I said, by no means, I'm not saying the Knicks got to go out there and don't build around what they got. But look who win the championships. You know what I mean? LeBron won one. I know they drafted Giannis. He's a superstar. You know what I mean? Who won the year before that was a superstar. Who won the year before that was a superstar. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Everybody in the last so many years that won championship, they had superstars. We got to have a guy down here who's not scared of any moment.
Right.
Any moment. I don't care. Let me put y'all on my back and let me take you there. It's nothing wrong with having a guy like that. You know what I mean? Because it's just I like that D Ross. He said RJ the Union Man. Like good call, my brother. I like that quote. But either way it go, we're in a good place. And, we got a great opportunity to do a lot of good things in New York. I'm excited, and so we're gonna see tomorrow, man. Y'all guys, keep your fingers crossed that we go on this free agent thing and pull out something that we need. And right now, the names that's out there, like the second tier guy like Fournier and all these guys,
right?
That if you don't get they might decide, listen, we don't get one of the free agents, we'll trade for one. I just think that they got options both ways around. So I do think that Cleveland thing is going to be open for a while. I think that's unless Ricky Rubio is going to say I'll back up Colin Sexton and Garland, which is possible because he had a certain point in his career where it don't even matter. He might decide to say, I'll do that. I just stay behind them. Got to let them do their thing for sure. Amani the Great said Queen Step. So the Knicks is developing, but he just not getting any time on the floor because the organization wants to win now. So another team that picks up Knox has a diamond in the rough. I agree with you. Knox can shoot, man. I like his size. I like his game. You know, like I said, the only thing different it might be he's just not a Tibbs player. But I love Kevin Knox. I think Kevin Knox could stroke that ball against anybody. You know what I mean? I think he putting his work in. You know, and I'm glad he in the all season doing this thing. Amani, I agree with you on that one. You know, sometimes it might just take a different scenery. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it might just take another different scenery.
But I don't think that they're not developing him because they want to win now. I mean, look, they trying to win now, and Obi got time. They're trying to win now, and IQ got time. So I don't think it's that they're trying to win now. So that's why they're not developing him. Remember, he was in the rotation to start the season. And at some point he was out of the rotation. So I don't think it's that, you know. I think the Knicks, if the Knicks feel like you can help them win, you're going to play, period. And if they don't think you can help them play, you're not going to play. And I think that's what Devon was saying. He just doesn't seem to be a Tibbs type of guy. Not that he isn't talented, but he's just not a Tibbs type of guy.
Yeah, you gotta have a certain type. You gotta have a certain type of it with you to play for Tom Thibodeau. You know what I mean? For sure. I agree with you, Pud. Nice. He will be nice in Orlando. Hey, listen, send him down there and give us a Mo Bamba.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Because both of them get a fresh. I mean, you know, Knox and Orlando with them guards they got down there, and that young team like that, throw them at the three. You know what I mean? You got Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony. You know, you got them cats and Fultz. Knox at the three. If you're gonna put Jonathan Isaac at the four, you know what I mean, and you know whatever the case may be. But and that's another interesting the Jonathan Isaac thing. I mean, I wonder how that yeah, man. You know that's what I would love to get down here, man. You know, it's for real. But it's a lot of options to go on with that thing, man. Yo, salute to Mark Swift. Mark, salute for chiming in, my brother. We appreciate you coming in, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we holding it down on Knicks Real Talk. Got Queens Court in the building. Yeah, man. But he said, and Pud Night said Obi will be great in Cleveland. I wonder how a lot of us kind of on the fence with Obi Toppin. You know, he's almost like a fan favorite nowadays. You know, people want to give him that second chance. I like Obi Toppin as well, but that's another tough spot right there.
It ain't tough for me, Devon.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
It ain't tough for me. Listen, what's the name of this show?
Knicks
Real Talk.
That's right.
Listen,
that's right.
Obi doesn't have a bankable skill other than the fact that he's athletic. We just got to keep it real. Now, he's not a great rebounder. He doesn't play well in the post. His 3-point shot is okay. It's not something you can bank on right now. And don't get me wrong. It's not that he's not going to get better. I'm sure he will get better. But the fact of the matter is, he averaged like 5 points and 4 rebounds for the season, and we was expecting more than that. We thought he would be NBA ready, and he wasn't. And so you got a 24 or 23-year-old on a 19-year-old developmental trajectory. It's going to take him probably about as much time as it would take a 19-year-old to get where we need him to be, unless he takes a huge jump this season. So I just think if we have an opportunity to get somebody like Sexton, you got to do it.
Yep.
You just got to do it.
Yeah. No matter what it takes, let's say even we extend the second, is Obi Toppin's career going to pan out to a Sexton's career? Right now, it don't look that way. You know what I mean? You know, so who knows? But yeah, I mean, I don't think nobody on that team right now, other than RJ and Mitch and Randall, the Knicks will move them. Just go ahead and move. I think everybody else, I think, is definitely expendable. But I think RJ and RJ and Randall, I just know they're not going to try to move them to. Mitch possible, depending on what the deal is.
Right.
Quickly possible. But I think Obi and the rest of them, that's possible. That's very possible. And I don't want them to, but it's possible. But I think what hurts Obi Toppin is Mitchell, Julius Randle's here,
and he can't play the 3. It's not like you can move him to the 3 because of his footwork.
Yep.
Not like you can move him to the 5, and not even that. Even if you could move him to the 5, Tibbs, he's not a small ball 5 guy, because we had plenty of opportunities to put Randle at the 5 and Obi at the 4, and he just didn't do it. So I guess that's just not his thing. So now he's playing behind Randle, which is not bad. I mean, Randle needs, if he plays 15 minutes a game, Randle gets rest. But if he continues to develop, where's he going to play?
Yeah, and if he, what I'm interested to see though is crazy. Like this off season, they are putting in the work. They didn't get to do this last year because of the pandemic.
Right.
I'm hoping that guys like Obi and them say, you know what, maybe the Knicks gonna let them guys go into the season and see what they. Like I said, the trading deadline come up.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't progress and you regress, you're out of here.
Right.
But I am glad that they did get a whole off season. They got summer league this year, training camp, off season workouts, and they got to work on that game opposed to last year. They didn't get to do all that, and that's why that's why I would love to see if Obi on a team going into the regular season. I definitely want to see what this guy gonna do. His second year, what he's gonna do. He, from what I hear, he's working on his game, getting better, which is good. That's what they're all supposed to say and do anyway. But I do want to see Obi take another step, man. I think he got the body, the athleticism. He's three ball looked good at the end of the year, going into the draft. He looked good. He started getting a little bit more comfortable, going through the hole. That's why I always say I'm hoping to Carmelo Anthony come out here and train that boy. If you're gonna be here, you need to bring Carmelo Anthony down here. Teach Obi Toppin how to do that footwork for sure. So, but like I said, if they get a deal that's going to benefit the team and take them to another level, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. No doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. The salute to the chat, man. Everybody, man. Great panel. We got Queen in the building. Y'all check out tomorrow night, 8:00 MBK. She's gonna be in the building tomorrow night, man. So y'all go down there and do your thing. You already know, support her down there and all that good stuff. And 6:00, it's gonna be popping off. I think we're gonna hear some noise before 6:00 tomorrow. It normally used to be be over about 3:00.
Right.
I was starting at 6:00.
It's starting at 6. So when I'm on the show starts at 8. I'm gonna be on my phone looking to see if something pop off during the show.
Frank Montos, I don't have no problem with DeRozan. If we get a point guard, we were talking about him and Lowry earlier. I definitely don't have a problem with DeMar DeRozan. And like the Queen said, you get you got 3-point shooters around him, which makes a difference. So his mid-range game is phenomenal, though. I mean, he can get buckets around that mid-range like it ain't nothing. And he's a savvy veteran. He know the game, and he know how to get down. Mark Swift, not from Bo Bamba, absolutely. I have no problem with that.
I have no problem with that either.
Whatsoever.
Because this is the thing. You got to get somebody on your team just in case they decide they're not going to extend. Well, they don't have to, but I would prefer that there's somebody already in our system so that if they don't sign, extend Mitch and we lose them, we're not starting from scratch. We got somebody that's already familiar with the system.
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's not too many of them guys like Mitch and them guys on the market right now. Even though we know there's guys in there because, after Mitch and a couple of guys like the guy who just down in New Orleans, Jackson Hayes. I'm saying his name right. Yeah, Jackson Hayes. Yes. And you got some athletic guys down there. Backup center, if he would, I'll take a nice stretch guy. I know his money might be a little bit too long for me, but just to back up Mitch at the stretch, I'll go get Laurie Marketing.
Yeah.
If Laurie Marketing willing to take 10 to, he don't want more than that though. He gonna look way more than that. So I might don't even throw that out there. But he would have been a nice.
Play a little 4 too.
Yeah,
he 4 5. Yeah.
5, stretch the floor, rebounded. Because Phil Jackson was saying like, listen, he rather have Laurie Marketing over Porzingis. I'm like, damn, Phil ain't playing. He be throwing stones at jokers, Jackson be throwing stones. I'm like, yo. I would have had Laurie Marketing over it. I was like, this was funny. I was like, Phil Jackson he was something. Man. What a tenure that was. This is crazy. But yeah, he's another guy. I'm dying to see what they're gonna do with him. I don't know if I don't think Chicago gonna bring him back.
No,
I don't think they're gonna bring him back though.
I don't think so. Is he unrestricted? Let me see.
I think he is.
He's power forward, or let me see where they got him.
Center. I'm already locked. I think he might be. BX probably could throw that in there if he ain't still in.
Let me see. I'm looking. I think they got him at center. I'm looking at power forward. They don't have him there.
Yeah, so he probably got him.
No. I looked up the centers already, and he wasn't there. Let me see.
Yeah, he'd be another interesting.
Portis,
Kelly Olynyk,
Millsap. They got PJ Tucker listed at power forward. Wow. Jermichael Green, Trey Lyles. Yeah, marketing. He's restricted. Did they pick up his option? Let me see.
I thought when I seen the day they didn't. If they picked it up, I just seen that earlier stuff. I read it right there today too. Excuse me, my computer froze, guys. Back on.
No, I'm looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Okay.
They offered, so he's restricted.
Yep. So yeah, he's another young guy that fits the timeline. As far as now, how much money do you spend on somebody like that? And
right.
That's going to be the catcher. You know what I mean? Compared to depending on what we're trying to do.
Right.
Yeah. If I don't know, do you give him over? You give him close to 15? But he a problem from that 3-point line too. I mean, he's strong young man though.
Yeah.
Oh no, what the hell happened? Excuse me, guys.
Is that me?
That's me.
Oh, that's you. Is that me?
I'm not sure.
Wait, let me see.
Froze there. I don't know who that's that. It might have been me. I'm not sure.
I closed all my windows.
Okay, y'all bear with me, man. What's my computer doing? I don't know where that's coming from, though.
Yeah. I closed all my windows.
Okay, that might be me. Man, how that happened? Come on now. Sorry, guys, y'all bear with us.
I don't hear it now.
Yeah, me neither. And, hopefully, it might have been a hiccup in this system because my stuff is kind of going crazy on the side over here. But yeah, man, he's another guy that would have been interesting to have, for sure. Good one, BS. We ain't kidding about that one. And my man,
he said, "That's my jam, though."
Right, Slick TV salute. Yeah, we got it somewhere there popping. Yeah, that was interesting to me as well. Yo, salute to my man Slick TV for coming in here, man. Everybody who commented for the first time, Amani, everybody in the chat, all the regulars already know what it is, man. Knicks Real Talk. You in here, man. I got the Queens Court in the building. Y'all hit that like and subscribe, man. We keep bringing out this fire, man. It's all good. And now, like I said, tomorrow night, we got some breaking news in the question. Is that breaking news? Nah, not yet, Milton. Maybe tomorrow night, if we get some, I'll throw it out there. But yeah, man, it's gonna be on tomorrow, man. We're gonna be excited about it and everything. And can John Collins play the 3?
I don't think so.
And I think they're gonna resign him back.
Yeah. So they did get Jalen Johnson, I guess, just in case. But I don't see them playing a rookie though.
Especially they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of these teams ain't going back. That's why I don't think we going back like that. You know, hold up. We done smelled the playoffs now.
Right.
So I think they're gonna try to do some things to get them a little further in advance in this joint, man, and do it go. But so far, other than Kyle Lowry, I think all the top ones going back to where they're going. I think Chris Paul stays. I think Mike Conley stays. I think Lonzo Ball go to Chicago or New Orleans. Because there haven't been too much talk about Lonzo in New York to me, other than the tabloid, you know, and all the back and all that stuff. Just to get some buzz, I think we got to get some buzz and get the fans interested in all this stuff. So they got to throw stuff out there and hope it sticks to the wall for a minute. But yeah, I don't see us doing too much different than hopefully trading for somebody. And but I guess we got to keep an eye on that Damian Lillard thing. I mean, that's what I think everybody in that land. Like I said, it's like Stephen A. said on Saturday from him. He didn't say he leaving, but he heard if he do leave, this is the first place he would come.
Right.
You know
Divine, what do you think about this? I'm on Bleacher Report. Their prediction, 48 to the Knicks, 3 years, 55.
I'm good with that. Oh, yes.
It would be great if that third year was a team option, but I'm good with it too.
Yes. I'm good with that at 17, 34, 51, 18. Because of what he could do. I say a point a million. That's how I look at the NBA.
Right.
Point a million. And he do put up the number. I mean, the kid, even in the playoffs last year with Boston, it was really him and Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? And when he was down there in Atlanta with Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, they had a nice team. I don't have a problem bringing him in for that much. Now you could bring back a Melo and get that point guard. And I think I could see him in New York for sure for that. And I think I wouldn't be surprised. Or at least that E'Twaun Moore could be a solid bench runner. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's true. I like E'Twaun Moore. He plays hard. He's a good player. Wow. So 4 years, 51. 3 years, 51.
55.
55.
That's their prediction. That's their prediction.
Oh, prediction.
He's 6'7". I didn't know he was that tall. He's 6'7".
Yeah, 6'7". Mm-hmm. And he gets it though. He get it. You know what'd be nice for him? I would give him 2 years, 40 million.
Yeah.
2 years, 40 million.
He's 28 too.
Right.
So he's,
exactly.
2
years, 40 million. Now you got another score with Randall and RJ.
Right.
He's efficient. He is more efficient than Reggie Bullock. I know that for a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and he plays hard though. He's a hard player dude. He can shoot. And what I like about him, he can also catch and shoot. He can shoot on the dribble.
Right.
He can put the ball on the floor and get down in the lane.
Mm-hmm.
And then BX said that means we out of all top 22 free agents. Unless you depend on what if it's some maneuver going on after what Brock Aller did, I don't put nothing past what he can do. It's possible BX and you know even in that class 2022 class, if you have 50 million now, and you still got to remember that's why I was saying earlier. Knox 5 million, Valdola 3 million. That's $9 million. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't. So it's ways to get around a lot of this stuff. To be honest with you, might not extend Mitch. You know what I mean, or this and that. So we'll see. But let's hope. I don't have a problem with it if that's who we're gonna roll with. For the next couple of years, because we got to start somewhere. We try. Even though we're not trying to win a championship. This year, I think we done laid a foundation with Randall and RJ. At least laid it. If Randall pans out, then we laid it. You know what I mean? So, I think Randall gave you. You look at the regular season last year. Randall gave you what Tatum and all the guys gave you. Look at his numbers compared to. I think people underestimate. You look at Randall's numbers last year. Randall gave you numbers like a lot of them guys did. You know what I mean?
Right.
You didn't have that other consistent 20 guy to go with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what I'm looking at. Like, who can we get that's consistent on any given night to go with Randall? And because Randall, RJ had a good year, but he was kind of inconsistent most of the time throughout the year. He ups and downs. Though he had a great year, a good year, with a great year, he had a bounce back year for him. But still, it was times where he was in his slumps. He came out. You know how we was down at NBK. We was like, man, he going through it. That was a big thing. But I do think that at least Fournier, he can give you them numbers on any night though, for sure.
Yeah. And this is the thing, the Knicks need so much in a weak free agent class. So I'm looking at this article. If these things happen, the Knicks may be forced to scrap and put a team together. Carmelo goes to LA. Lonzo, there's some talk of him either signing in Chicago or going back to New Orleans. If that happens, Dinwiddie in a sign-in trade to the Wizards, that takes him off the board. Yep. If Chris Paul returns to the Suns, if Kyle Lowry goes to Miami, if Kawhi opts back in with the Clippers, and John Collins goes back to. So if all of these things happen, the Knicks are in no man's land trying to fill out a roster in a free agency that's pretty weak. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we may have to run it back. We may have to look to trades. We may have to sign some of our own free agents because it's just a weak class.
Weak class, right. Yep.
And we need so much. We only got 6. It's not even like we're trying to get 2 players. We got 6 players.
6 players, right. Camilo said he got a report I just saw the Knicks are pushing hard for Miles Turner.
I ain't mad.
Me neither.
I'm not mad.
Yeah. You know what? And for Indiana to relieve him of that $18 million, then you send Mitch or somebody else and a couple of picks out there, whatever. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad.
Yeah, and I'm a Mitch guy, but for Miles Turner, a stretch big like that, because you're gonna have to wind up paying Mitch anyway. Don't get me wrong, but if you had to put Mitch in that deal for Miles Turner, I just think you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do, and I think. I mean, his 3-point shooting, I think, was like in the low 30%, but I think it's going to be higher with the Knicks because you're not going to be taking no bum 3-point shots with Tibbs. You're going to take the shots that, good shots. A lot of shots when I was watching Miles Turner, some of them threes he took were just bad shots. Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen with the Knicks. You're going to take shots that are wide open. at the right time, and I think that's gonna boost his percentage some.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and plus he playing in that type of style. I like it. What I do like about that, now you got a guy who could stretch the floor. Now you got RJ and Randall got lanes now. You know what I mean? And you get a salute to my man Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor, salute. We see you, my brother. That Kelly Olynyk would be great. Remember him in the playoffs with Boston? He was carrying that team. Yeah, he is nice. I like Kelly Olynyk. I agree with you on tip, Kev. Make sure y'all hit like that, subscribe.
But
Kev,
not to start though.
Right. No, not starting. Not at all. He'll be a good backup. You get Miles Turner and Kelly Olynyk. Oh my good, that'd be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, so I got to keep an eye on that Miles Turner thing. I mean, that's interesting right there. Slick was already in the building. RJ, Oubre, Randall, Turner, point guard.
Questionable.
That's pretty deep right there. That's pretty deep right there.
If we could get Brogdon, I don't think they're getting up Brogdon too. Carlisle is there. Carlisle like those type of point guards. I don't think Brogdon is going to shake loose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they gonna keep him because I think they that close. I think they close. I think they got. I think you look at the weapons they got down there. They got a good team down there, man. With like I said, you got Sabonis down there, and that might be another reason why they might have moved Turner because they know Sabonis got that inside to himself. They might move him to the 5. Now you got T.J. Warren. What's the young man they just drafted?
Isaiah. They got Isaiah Jackson from Washington.
Oh, wow.
For Aaron Holiday. Aaron Holiday went. Right. But they got Duarte.
And that's what. Yep. They could move Sabonis to the 5. TJ, Duarte, Brogdon, LeVert. That's a good offensive team right there.
Yeah. Kevin Middleton said, "I've never seen Miles Turner dominate." You're right, but it could have been because he was playing with so many other players. And 2, I don't know if the Knicks need him to dominate.
Right.
I think if he blocks shots, he is a monster. He's a better shot blocker than Mitch. I think he's averaging like 2, almost 3 a game or something crazy like that. Play good defense for us and rebound and hit a 3 here and there. I'm good with that. I don't think he needs to like have 20 points, 17 rebounds.
Yeah, I think what he, and I'm the biggest Mitch guy in this block right now. Y'all already know how I feel about Mitchell Robinson for sure. But what that cat can do for the Knicks, that spacing is just, man. RJ have lanes, like I said, Randall have lanes. Like Noel and Mitch, they got to hang around the back because that's where their game is at. Right. At least Miles Turner every now and then can open that lane up by stretching that 5 position, bringing that center out to the top. Because I see that cat shooting from the top of the key and all over the place. So he does be around that perimeter shooting. For him to stretch them bigs out there, he the type of guy you got to Rudy. You playing against the Utah Jazz, you got to bring Rudy Gobert out to the 3-point line because he got to guard him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then them lanes just open up, man. And
right. Changes a lot for us.
It changes a lot for us, absolutely. And with a competent point guard playing in that system, man, that's pretty interesting. And I'm a Mitch guy, but I think because of the style of play that what Turner could do, he give you what Mitch give you and just a little more on the offense.
Right.
So, yeah, right. You definitely can't be mad at that, man. But I'm gonna keep an eye on that, Camille, and you guys, man, because that's out there. Like I said, it's gonna be some willing and dealing. I don't think this thing is done yet. You know what I mean?
I think the Knicks are gonna have to go to the trades to get better. That free agent market is mad thin.
Mm-hmm. It is really thin, and then like BX everybody said, 2022 is where it's at. You know what I mean? We know, and it's gonna be Frank Matter said Turner is the right age. He is. He fits that. He got enough of that. He got enough NBA experience, but he's to be considered a veteran and a young vet.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he's not old where he's over the hill. Nothing. Yeah, he's young. He's still young, man. Turner ain't been around that long. So that's gonna be interesting to keep an eye on. I really believe that that I'm keeping an eye on that, the Sexton deal and all that stuff. Philadelphia, here you go. BX said Philadelphia are reportedly shopping Tobias Harris per.
Wow. Wow.
How many years he got in that deal? About 3
sure.
Yeah, he got about 3 years on that deal. Yeah, because I think he signed 2 years ago.
But why is that? Did they feel like they can't get rid of Simmons, so they're gonna try to get rid of Harris?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can see. But even Tobias Harris, he had a pretty good year last year, but the year before that in the bubble, he disappointed me though.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, this cat ain't doing that. And I was like, man, you got that max deal. You supposed to be in here with Philly. Y'all supposed to be getting this thing popping. He didn't. He couldn't show up, but he had a good year last year though. But wow, Tobias Harris, a Long Island cat though, New York kid.
Yeah, I mean, where would he? He plays the three?
Three. Mm-hmm.
He just makes so much money though.
He's too expensive. Yeah. BS at 3 years, 35 million left. I think probably is 35 years. BS. I think
That's
you're right
a
on
lot.
that. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But then again, like see that was crazy. That free agent class next year. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna sit here and say wait and go into that 2022? I think what the Knicks should do. You can get some players now, but I think you still can leave a max slot open for next year.
Right.
You could still get. I think we like if you do some signing and trading and stuff like that, and depending on what you bringing in, like Miles Turner, what 18 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I still think at 18 million, you still got a max slot there. You know what I mean? If you have to find a couple of guys here and there, but they seem like they not. Paul said he stinks. Laugh out loud. They put. Oh yeah, Harris, you talk about Harris or Turner? Paul, hit me up. Let me know. Because laugh out loud, Queen. Of that free agent is at the Knicks fan would be mad at Rhodes for not signing bums.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think that's I don't know about a fear, but I think that's going to happen. The Knicks fans are going to be all over the front office for not signing cats that's not there. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not there. And remember, in order to pull off a trade, another team has to be willing. So if they can't get another team willing to do that, there's not anybody that they like in free agency. So they do these mid-level deals or whatever to kind of roll it over to the next season. Mm-hmm. Watch. Fans is going to be mad tight. But I think the Knicks are not going to be reckless. They want what they want. And if they can find it in the trade and in free agency, they're going to do it. But if they can't find it, they're going to just roll it over, do middle of the road contracts until they get what they want. And I'm not mad at that.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, real quick, let me get a 30-second plug in, and we'll be right back. Me and the Queen Divine, Knicks Real Talk, Queen's Court in the building, man. We'll be back in 30 seconds. So hold our thought. Yeah, salute, man. We back, man. We in the building, man. Sunday night, man. We chilling. We up in here. Got the Queen's Court in the building. We got everybody in the chat, man. Salute to everybody who just came in today, man. Appreciate y'all coming on Knicks Real Talk sharing this night with us, man. Y'all already know what it is. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Got the NBA free agent popping off. Sunday, on the 8th, man. We got Summer League coming in the building. Knicks gonna be in Summer League. It's the Raptors. We're gonna start that popping off. So it's gonna be a pretty interesting week from here going forward, man. We're gonna be hoping our guys in the organization can make some good moves that's going to bolster the team without jeopardizing the infrastructure and the flexibility and all that good stuff. We're just going to hope that they do their due diligence, spend wisely, and keep the structure here so we don't have to worry about it for the next so many years. And I think we're going to be fine, man. I really do think that they got a plan, like Steph said earlier, and we just got to make sure they make the right moves, man. We can get this thing popping, man, and I think we will. BS Jedi said Victor Oladipo could be a 1-year minimum deal option for the Lakers, as the market could be drying up for him. That's very possible. BX, that's a good point there, man. That I feel sorry for Oladipo, man. 'Cause that's one guy, man. The injury you don't like to see nobody. Go through it. No matter if they're Nick or not, you don't want to see nobody get no bread took off the table and go through injuries when they're young talent like that, man.
Yeah, I would take him though on a 1-year minimum deal, though.
Yeah,
minimum.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would.
Absolutely, yes, indeed, Pudge, for sure. Yeah, man. Absolutely, Steph. 1 year, go get him. See how he pan out. And then the guys you look for, though. You look for guys like that, man. That's gonna cost you if you get injured. Oh, it's only a 1 year deal minimum. It ain't the end of the world.
Right.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? And he comes off. But I definitely think that he's gonna. I don't think Miami gonna sign him back. I just don't see it.
Mm-mm. And I think he's unrestricted, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't see Miami doing that. I think Miami trying to regroup. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. They let Andre Iguodala walk. They saved that $15 million. You know what I mean? So
Right.
they weren't going to try to even to do that. And now with the Gordon Dragic thing, because they do have cap space. Matter of fact, I'll put out some of the people who the Miami got they like 20 million, if I'm not mistaken, in cap space, and so they might be looking to bump a couple of guys. And see, that's another team to watch out for. You know what I mean? That's why the Knicks got to make some moves because Miami gonna get better. They was only a couple of
doubt.
Yeah, they going. Pat Riley ain't gonna stay down there and don't do. He's one of the guys who like to compete. So they gonna do something down in Miami too, and both of that team. They got options. They might not even pick up Duncan Robinson's 20 million. You know what I mean? Let's hypothetically, or not his 20 million, but offer him 20 million.
Right.
They might offer him stuff, but they might not. They might save that for another player, another megastar, somebody who's gonna really come there with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, and I guess Tyler Hero and them guys that make an impact there. So you got to keep an eye on Miami, and for the Knicks, that's why we got to do something to make sure that we get better, because a lot of teams are going to get better, and we just don't. We can't take that this season we had early this year for granted. We can't take that for granted because a lot of people are going to get better, man, and but we want to be in the midst of everybody getting better as well. Because,
Boston is already better, I think, with Horford.
Yes, absolutely.
They got to do more.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and they got Josh Richardson yesterday too in the trade. Yeah, and they're gonna go for a point guard, unless they're gonna get a key over to Marcus Smart. You know what I mean? So it was like the Bleacher Report. Nerlens Noel targeted by the Raptors, Knicks, Pistons, and the Kings. I could see the Kings doing that if they don't sign Rashawn Holmes back.
Right.
That might make sense for them in that sense. So, but yeah, I think if they got people interested in Nerlens Noel, that means that you know what, he gonna demand a little bit of money. Salute Jet for Life is in the building. Salute my man Jet. Yes, indeed. So that's I think Noel. I think he might be good as gone. Chris Dunn out there too. He's a good hard-nosed defense player. He never got to where I thought he was going to go though.
Right.
He really never did. According to the Toronto Raptors, New York Knicks, Pistons, Sacramento Kings are expected to pursue Nerlens Noel. So the Chicago Bulls and Larry Markin are open to a sign and trade. Yeah, I think that. Keith Smith. I love his insight. He's a good dude. I see him on here all the time. He said projected spending power when free agent opens. Charlotte got 8.8 million. Dallas 33 million. Detroit 16 million. Miami 20 million. New York 53 million. OKC 30 million. San Antonio 48 million, and 23 million for Toronto. Then the only teams that got capped.
Right.
And non-players, non-taxpayer mid-level: Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Denver, Houston, Indiana, New Orleans, Orlando, Phoenix, Portland, Sacramento, and Washington. Yeah, you're right, Frank Model. We heard about that, man. Rogos will be in summer league. That's going to be a good look to see how he get down. I think that's going to be exciting to see him. I'm excited to see all these young guys, man.
Mm-hmm. I
really am, man. I want to see what they're gonna do because that should know where we're gonna go. Yeah, Pud, 53 million, man. You can. I think you can get a guy. Here might be another smart thing to do too, Steph. I just thought about that with the 53 million. Let you go get a guy that you're gonna get 17 and 18 too, but everybody else 1 year deal.
That's true.
Yep, you know what I mean. Then when 2022 comes, then 1 year comes back off the book. You just add that piece or whatever, add a couple of pieces. So it's definitely possible. Salute to Keyshawn. Yes, sir. Salute Keyshawn. We see you, my brother. Thanks for coming in here, man. We appreciate that for sure. He said Leon about to make a championship team. I hope so.
Hope so.
Yeah, Key, y'all, everybody chiming in, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe, my brother. I appreciate y'all coming part of the family. We do this all the time, each and every way, man. We all over the place with this stuff. And you go tomorrow night, we got 8 o'clock. So you probably get a lot of the breaking stuff on Queen's Court tomorrow. She got the 8 o'clock show tomorrow, Monday, MBK all day.
Right.
So y'all make sure y'all go get it. Yeah, man. So I'm excited about it all, man. I'm really excited about it all. And and I just think we just gotta get and just stay diligent with this stuff, man, and I believe with Scott Perry had on them for the last 3 years to keep us like this here. I'm confident. I really am. I'm not too worried because I think the biggest thing that the Knicks did this year to me showed me as an organization when they re-signed Scott Perry.
Right.
Because what that showed me was they don't want to go into that crazy thing where they don't have no structure.
Right.
Guys going in and out. Now, he came in. Scott Perry bought Julius Randle in here. He bought Mitchell Robinson in here. He bought a lot of good players. He helped them get to the playoffs last year. And I think Scott Perry was Leon Rose was like, yo, he's a key piece to this because they could have easily let him go when Mills got fired.
Right.
But
I think they wanted to see how he operates with them, because there's one thing to hear good things about a person, is another thing to watch him over the year, and he must have impressed them. They saw it for themselves.
Yep.
And so I'm glad I'm back. But what I like about the front office is that it's multifaceted. Like they got people that's specialists in their area instead of people who are not specialists calling shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got that capologist. Is that Brock Aller, right? From Cleveland. So you got the capologist. He's the one, I'm sure, when they was making those trades and trading with Charlotte and moving down, he was letting them know what the ramifications of that would be for the cap and how they would use it. And so it's like building a football team. You got an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams. So Rose can sit back and just kind of listen. What is the capologist saying? What is Walt Perrin is more about scouting, correct?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. What is Walt Perrin saying? What is the guy they just saw, Perry, saying? And sit back and kind of take all of this in, and they all talking about what the ramifications of it. And I think you make better decisions that way.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Because it takes a team to build this thing up, man. You got to have. Microsoft they get there by itself with only Bill Gates. You know what I mean? He got all the structure. He got his people, the structure in place, and I think they on the same page. And even though they might agree to disagree, but then I think people and even what's my man, the other guy, I think his name is Klein. Klein is he's another scout guy that's really good at what he do. They just got we finally got a front office in New York that really truly got a dream front office. I agree with you, Todd. That's a dream front office, man, and I think they're going to put it in the best position as possible to come out of the 2021-22 season looking pretty good. So far, so good. Like I said, if we take it back to the draft, I'm good. I think signing Scott Perry was huge to me, and I'm all about structure. You know what I mean? I think if you got the person in place, you got the right people in place, your organization runs better. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it.
Yeah, and I just think that it helped out a great deal that we did sign all these guys, and I like Grimes. I'm McBride. I like them sign. I just like what we did. I did not think we were going to draft 4 guys, and we did. It really shocked me, and the way they did it impressed me the most. The sign, I thought we were going to keep maybe 2 of our draft picks and move everybody else.
Right.
We did all that wheeling and dealing, and think about what this guy did. He gained 2 more picks,
right,
and can save $2.4 million.
Right.
I mean, and that's how you do it. And I know Cleveland probably wish they still had that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because listen, I think the Knicks they were looking for a 3-and-D guy. I think that they had him ranked, and when they went off the board, at 13 Duarte, at 17 Murphy, then I believe they had Trey Mann on their list. Trey Mann goes up. Then who's next on the list? And this is what I'm saying, how they play in chess. All right, Quentin Grimes is next on our list. But do we get him here at 19? Or do we trade out, get an asset, and move back and still have that opportunity to get him? Because I'm sure they had like a bunch of players, just like they do in football. They have these tiers of players. So like, listen, if we trade back, there's about 3, 5, 6 players we like. We're going to get one of them if we trade back. And I think that's what they did. They traded back and they got one of them. They traded back 3 times because when they went to 21, they traded to 25, and on 32, they traded back to 34, for the 34th. So they traded 3 times because they saw that the players they liked was still on the board. Hey, let's pick up an asset and trade back and get them. I think Malik among names to watch for Miami Heat. I think well, McBride was already a steal at 36. He was already a steal at 36. But I think we might have something in Sims. So I really, really want to see him in the Summer League.
Yeah, me too. Yep. Bear said Andre Drummond and Malik Monk among names to watch for Miami. I like Malik Monk. I like that boy. He can stroke that ball when he on. You know, but my man did it crazy. He put a stat up in here. So over these last 3 years, Kevin Knox got a higher shooting percentage than 3-point percentage than Malik Monk. Because like I said, Knox in the stroke. With Knox on, he could hit that rock though. Right.
He can.
Yeah, he can. Malik Monk had a pretty good year the last couple years before he got in that PED situation, whatever that was. He said for the Rockets, they believe they're feelings are mutual that with Andre Drummond on a 3-year deal with over $70 million.
You can have him. I don't have a problem with Drummond, but not at $70 million.
No, for 3 years. So that's what 25, 20, 24, something like that a year. 20. Yeah. I mean, I tell you what's crazy about that. They moved Christian Woods to the 4. Yeah. And throw Andre Drummond at the 5. And they had a good draft too, though.
But they got that big guy, Sapper Alperin. So now they don't have to. If they get Drummond, I guess they don't have to start him. They can bring him along slowly. They also got Garuba, the power forward, who I really like, at least from a defensive perspective. They got him. They got Green. Houston's gonna be all right.
They're gonna be all right. Yeah, they did it well. They made out with that Harden contract. They really did. But I'm glad. I definitely don't. And that's why I thought there was a lot of speculation about the Drummond stuff in New York. But you know what? When you got cap money, everybody linked to you.
Right.
Yeah. When you got money like we got to spend, everybody linked to the New York Knicks. And even like I said, if New York wasn't water faucet, then that water faucet will never drip the water. They don't never leak. You know what I mean? So you can forget about that. They ain't leaking nothing. And I think a lot of stuff, because you in the media market of the world, everybody, trying to get that. Some of it their job. The Mark Bermans of the world, right? And this their job. They got to get paid to bring the news, whether it's fake news or hyperbole or whatever. They gonna put it out. Right. They got to put it out there to keep the buzz going on. That's why we call it trade chatter. Cause that's all they do is just trade talk and chatter. That's all it is. But it's gonna be good tomorrow night. I'm ready, man. I'm really ready for it to pop off, man. And salute to all you cats in the chat, man. Y'all already know that's where it's at, man. Hey Keyshawn, if we can grab De'Aaron Fox, come on.
I'm good with that too.
Good with that, bro. I mean, man, listen, that's another Kentucky connection. Keep the Kentucky connections going, man. But yeah, I can see. I wasn't even funny. I remember I think it was last year when the Knicks got the 8th pick. He had that little funny little.
Right.
I was like, a Knicks fan should have did that to De'Aaron Fox this year because they had got the 9th. So.
Right.
And did have a little funny quote, but he definitely tried to play us last year.
Yes, he did.
De'Aaron Fox, he the real deal though. But then they got the 9th pick. They should have did the same thing. That would have been hilarious. I thought that would have been comical if they would have pulled that off. But yeah, man, everybody, Kivit, my man, salute my brother. We gonna hang on for about 15, 20 minutes, then we're gonna get off about 9, man. I know the Queen got things to do. But y'all been amazing. Everybody like and subscribe to the channel, man. While we keep growing this platform, man, trying to bring out this Knick content. Cause we Knick fan from the fan for the fans, you know what I mean? And so we appreciate y'all on Knicks Real Talk, man. Salute to my brother BX Jedi. Get well soon, my brother. I know you kind of
definitely get well soon.
Yes, sir. And that's all that good stuff. But tomorrow is a big day. I think when we wake up tomorrow, you might hear some grumblings. Might be a little closer. And excuse me, Ellie said we hear no trade rumors or chatter about teams interested in trading for Randall.
I think because they know Randall is off limits.
Yep. They
know Randall is off limits.
Yeah, especially after the year he had.
Yeah. Listen, he struggled in the playoffs, but we're not giving him away.
No. You're gonna have to play. Nah, I think he already put in his work. Randall, guys like Randall and they come a diamond doesn't want to come their work ethic.
Right.
His work. That's one thing I love to see guys like that, man. I like to see guys who work hard, man.
Right.
you getting paid this money. You got to go put your work in. You know what I mean? And that's anyway. That's all of us. No matter what, when we on our job, we got to go hard or go home. You know, if you don't go hard, then your boss ain't gonna give you no money. You ain't getting no raise. You don't go hard, you don't get no raise. You don't get better. You stay in the same position that you might have been in since you came on the job. I think a guys like Randall and a lot of these guys, they want to get better so they can get more money. And that's the name of the game. You know what I mean? Don't settle. You know what I mean? But that go hard or go home. I think that's really part of what we try to do in New York right now. I really think that's part of the Knicks DNA. You know what I mean? They like, listen, you go hard or go home, and that's where it's at right now with the organization. I'm glad we finally there, but I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we did it the way Scott Perry did when he came in 2018. He's gonna get rid of these contracts. And if it means even getting rid of Porzingis' injured self, we're getting rid of him too. We're not stuck with injured players. And you think about that, a lot of injuries the Knicks had last year, all of them guys played last year. They might have been out a couple of weeks or a month, but they did come back and play. And, and then we still got Porzingis money, still got it. Right. And we got 2 picks and had Derrick Rose. Right. So
and Randall.
And Randall, right? Exactly.
Right.
Everything was done the right way, and I hope we continue on this trajectory going up. And we see we go, man. It's gonna be a exciting basketball year in New York, man. I know the fans, we're gonna be buzzing. New York gonna be wide open, man. So y'all continue getting excited about it. You know what I mean? Like I said, the smoke doesn't settle. When you look back at the draft on Thursday, it didn't turn out bad to me. It really didn't.
I mean, listen, all of these Keyshawn, shout out to Keyshawn in the chat. This draft really divided some Knick fans. I'm not sure how, but let me know in the chat so I could try to address some of it. But listen, all of these cats in the draft, first of all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. All of these cats got something that they need to work on. They got positives, they have negatives. A lot of the players that we passed on, who's to say Kai Jones, he has a lot of work to do. Keon Johnson has a lot of work to do. Who's to say they're going to be better than Quentin Grimes? I think people are so enamored with what a person may be. They see the athleticism. They see they can run, they can jump. Oh my goodness, this guy could possibly be a star, and maybe they will be. But for me, I tend to go for the solid guys, the guys that have something right now that they can offer us. And if they develop further, fine. But they have something they can offer us right now. And that's what we got in Quentin Grimes. This is somebody who can hit the 3 at a high rate off a catch and shoot. He can also hit the 3 off the dribble. He's also a good rebounder for his size and a good offensive rebounder for his size. And he plays good defense, right? Yep. Now, he has to work on his mid-range game, right? So he does have trouble, dribbling into the key, pulling up for the shot. I think he's not very efficient, like maybe 40% overall. And he's over 40% from the college 3 as well. And he has NBA range as well. So I don't think he's going to have any problems hitting that 3. So you got a guy who could come in, who can hit the 3. Randall draws the defense, whoever draws the defense, or if he's in there with McBride, whoever he's in there with, they kick it out to him. He is a very good shooter from that 3-point line, right? Yep. And then on the defensive end, he's not going to give up a lot, right? So I'm happy with him. He's a 3-and-D guy that we could plug in and get something for. Same thing with McBride. He's 6'3", but he got a 6'9" wingspan. If you watch any scouting report on McBride, he is into it on defense. Indeed. 90 feet. Soon as the ball comes in, he's on it, and with them long arms. And he's another one that can hit the 3 off the catch and shoot, and he can also hit the 3 off the dribble, and he can get in the lane and pull up for the dribble. His mid-range is good too. Now, he has some trouble finishing at the basket. That's all right. Just get in there. That's what I was saying for Quickly in the beginning. Get in there and just pull up for the mid-range. You don't have to go all the way in right now. Right. And he's able to do that. I think Knicks fans, listen, this draft was a draft where there wasn't a lot of separation. So the guy who was picked 6 and the guy that was picked 36, I don't know if there was a lot of separation, you know. That's why San Antonio went and got Primo at 12. Everybody's like, Primo, he was scheduled, he was mocked in the second draft. They went and got who they liked. This was that type of draft. You just go and get who you like. Because once you get past them top 4 or 5 guys, there's not a lot of separation. That's why the Knicks I thought did well. If there's not a lot of separation, let me pick up a few draft picks and still get players who can contribute. That's what they did. Listen, the Knicks fans who's divided, when you see these guys, hold your opinions until you see them in summer league, and then hold it again till you see them in pregame, and then when the season starts. You are going to love these guys. Mark my words. You gotta love them.
Absolutely, I agree, man. You know, you gotta draft. Not only that, you gotta draft the players that fit your system. If you got to draft players that fit your system. You even though a lot of guys is talented, but do they fit your system? Do they have the mentality that you want them to play on your team? I mean, and I just think and I think like no matter how you look at a lot of guys, man, there's certain guys that's not going to be able to play in New York City. I'm telling you right now.
All for Tibbs.
Yeah, all for Tibbs. You know what? And I think that's a prime example right now to me of Kevin Knox, of Frank Ntilikina. That's a prime example right there. They just don't. You got to have a certain mentality, and it's almost like you got to have a grinded out, lunch pail, hard hat, gritty committee type of energy to play for Tom Thibodeau, because that's the type of guy he is. You know what I mean?
Which is why IQ might get traded. I like IQ, but McBride and Grimes, what do you say, Devon? The gritty, what do you call
gritty committee?
Those two guys are part of the gritty committee.
Yes, sir.
Those are Tom Thibodeau's guys through and through. They honored him. I'm sure, the coaches, they don't make the final decision, but I'm sure he was in there plugging for the guys he wanted.
Absolutely.
And they listened to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. Because you know what, you got to have a certain type of mentality, and that can hurt. See, to me, that's what scared me about Obi Toppin at the beginning. I'm like, oh, dude, you got to be more aggressive than that. You got to get some dog in you in a minute, because this is the Mecca. You do something wrong, they're gonna call you out in Madison Square Garden. They don't see you playing hard in New York City, you will get booed in Madison Square Garden. You play for that team. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, the Knicks fans in Madison Square Garden will boo you and you play for the Knicks. So if you don't have that gritty mentality, like you coming out the subway or you coming out the taxi cab or you coming walking down them city blocks, people don't know you. They ain't trying to speak to you. You don't got that mentality.
Right.
You don't play in New York. You just and a lot of because if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. We already know
that about it.
You know what I mean? But some cats can't play here. A lot of cats cannot play in New York because you got us, you got the media, the fan base, you got NBC, ABC, Fox, everybody. Man, you got people. Oh my God! So if you don't have the mental capacity to play in New York City, it's just hard to make it here, man. For anybody, you know what I mean, and everybody not built, and that's why I say everybody not built for this thing, man. But players like Grimes and them and McBride, that's why I like Cullen Saxon. That's why I like Kyle Lowry. That's why I like Kelly Oubre and them. Right. They got that dog in them.
Right. So, and those two rookies played for really hard-nosed coaches.
Yes.
Sampson who was the Huggins.
Huggins,
those guys, they giving you the business. So when you coming to play for Tibbs, you're gonna be all right because you've already experienced coaching like that.
Absolutely, guys. I think that's so important when you deal with this draft stuff. You can let's say if you get a cat who got skills, but he ain't got no heart.
Right.
What good is gonna do you in here? Right. And that's why I like the picks that we took. I like them cats got heart, and then they grimy with their. I mean, like you say, Huggins and Sampson. Those are hard-nosed coaches.
Right. And what did Grimes say? Grimes said that he was happy because he felt like New York and Tibbs and him was a match made in heaven. These guys are excited to play for Tibbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what's important real quick too. Don't underestimate what Will Perrin. I mean, when it comes to scouting, When everybody passed up on Donovan Mitchell, he seen something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, this cat, you know, he went out there and got some cats coming into Utah, man, that made a difference down there, man. And he's well respected. He's a wise man. He knows his stuff. He's been around a long time. Walt Perrin know his stuff. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm glad Scott Perry brought him on. They got them connection, and I think Grimes gonna shock a lot of people though.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Walt Perry sees something in Sims, because this is the thing with Sims.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He was there 4 years, and a lot of players got drafted ahead of him. Because remember, Jared Allen was there, I believe, his first year. The guy you mentioned from New Orleans, the center.
Yep. Yeah, Jackson Hayes.
He was also there. And now Kai Jones, and all three of them guys got drafted ahead of them. And I was reading that part of it was that Sims hasn't really gotten that much better. He's a solid player, but he hasn't really gotten that much better over those years. And so they're not quite sure what his upside is. But I'm hoping that Walt Perrin saw something. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he did. And that when he gets into our organization, that he flourishes. Because he already has an NBA body. This guy's strong. He reminds me a little bit of Tim Duncan. Don't get me wrong. But what I mean, and he's just fundamentally sound. Like there's no flash in his game. Mm-hmm. There's no excitement in his features when he dunks. He just dunks and go back up the court. And he's fundamentally sound. So I'm hoping that we're able to get something out of him. He's athletic. But he's not somebody that's just relying on his athletic. He knows how to play as well. So if at the 58th pick, if he becomes just a competent backup center, that's a win for us.
Absolutely. That's why I can understand why they talk about this Miles Turner thing. Because they might say, well, you know, if we got a rim runner like Mitch, who could back up another starting center like that. I'm not saying get rid of Mitch, guys. Let me put that out there. That's my man. Y'all know I love Mitch, but I can see where a guy like Sims can play a role like Mitch as a backup.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or if you don't trade Mitch, you got Mitch and Sims. You know what I mean? So it's and I looked at some of his footage, and I tell you, he reminds me of a more athletic Jared Allen, actually. You know, and again, the kid he got some up to him, and I think of the president and Roll Brown. Thank you for coming in here, man. Like I said, my man, y'all hit that like and subscribe. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the channel. Definitely. Yeah, man, y'all come and be a part of this thing, man. And we keep it moving, man. We try to get it popping all week long, man. Not every day, but all week, every day little week. But yeah, man, I'm psyched. I'm psyched about it. Keyshawn said people get mad when we didn't get their favorite players. Absolutely. You know, it's like, you know, I'm not gonna say how y'all feel. You're anticipating having a guy that you really want, but at the same time, we just got to make sure they can fit New York. They fit
exactly. Like I like Sharif Cooper, even though he did have some negatives against him. He wouldn't have made it in New York. He's just not a New York. He's too slight. He can't play that defense, even though his playmaking is really good. And I believe his shot will come along. I think there was something else that had to go into play for him to drop to 48. Must be something else going on. But the reality is for New York, no. You got to be hard-nosed. You got to be able to hit that three. You got to be able to play that D. And he's not that. So we may like a player, but finally we're at a point as an organization where we have an identity and we could look for fit, instead of just taking any and everybody because they got upside.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, Pud. They were perfect picks to me, man. I wasn't even mad at that draft. You know what? Like I said, I'm not mad because of who they picked. I think Grimes can give you the same thing anybody else in that top 10 would have gave you, top 30, top 25 rather on up. I think he can give you just about any other one of them cats that they picked ahead of them. Grimes can still give you that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm quite sure he might give you something that they can't. They might give you something that Grimes can't. But I do think his talent was definitely in that top 25, though.
No doubt about it.
Sure.
But that's what I'm saying. They so close together. Can you say that Murphy's going to be better than Grimes? What would you base that on? Can you say Duarte is going to be better than Grimes? What are you basing that on? So I think it's just too early for us to say that we had a poor draft or too early to say that, Grimes wasn't the guy and there was other guys on the board that were better than him. It's too early. They haven't played not one NBA minute, none of them.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Salute Al Sabri. Al Sabri, salute for coming in, man. We appreciate you, my brother. Al Sabri had too much of a defense liability. Yeah, I can see that, man. Yeah, man. But we know what else is interesting is to me is that, don't look at the sexy pick. A lot of people go for the sexy pick. You know what I mean? Because them the ones that, other than the people who really truly go out there and study the game, they study the guys. They probably more college watching than I am. You know what I mean? So that's why I wouldn't even try to say this guy better than that guy because I don't watch college ball to the fullest like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sometimes you gotta really, really look at what the cat is made of. Look at the film. With the fit, the camera don't lie. I know that much. You know what I mean? I try to look at the camera, look at what they did, how they play on a basketball court, and that way they tell me if they're ready or not. And and I think that goes into a lot of it. Knicks will be regarding passing on Cooper, or regret he probably saying, but I like Miles Bridges. Yeah, that's understandable. BX, I can see that, but like I said, it's tough, man. Being how many guys Cooper's size played in the NBA all these years. I mean his size is only his, and that's not even counting his afro. You're going to knock 4 inches off that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. So, it's tough. I mean, I think he went to the right place though. I think he went playing behind Trae Young makes it easier for him down there because Trae Young got that type of game. You know what I mean?
They have a similar type of game.
But listen,
if he ever develops a jump shot, it's over.
It's over.
Because that's the only thing really holding him back. Because listen, there's been slight guys that had success in this league.
Absolutely.
And there's been guys who are not great defensive players who's had success in this league, right? So I think it's his shot holding him back. And I think if he ever develops that and becomes a complete point guard, he's going to be really good. But we're looking for players that can contribute right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and I think that's the thing a lot of people confused about to me because you still got picks next year. You know what I mean, and a year after. So the guys like that the guy down in the 30s and the 40s, you can get them next year. I mean, right. Or when the 2023 come out, you got a preference. Like that's why I said if you do the 2-year thing, when 2023 get here, Knicks got a ton of picks. I mean, they still got picks, and they still willing. I mean, Brock Oliver willing deal from here to eternity now with all the stuff he got. You know what I mean? So I'm not concerned about when it comes to getting young talent. That's my least worry with this organization that we have right now, the front office. I think we got wise head there who know talent. These guys know talent, you know what I mean? And that's the whole key. They know talent. And if you know talent, you're going to get talent. And I think that, yeah, man, I just think what he did was amazing. Everybody right now was thinking that we're going to get 4 draft picks. That's it. That was it. Our expectation was we're going to draft 4 people. That was and what we did was we drafted 4 people. Like I said, we got a first, a future 22nd, and we got $2.7 million. And you still got the 4 players that you would think you was gonna get. So yeah, man, that's business savvy. That's willing and dealing to the utmost. You ask me, basically. So I think we did a good job on that, man. But yeah, man, great show, everybody. I know the Queen got to get out of here, man. And listen, man, y'all already know what it is. Knicks Real Talk, man. We in the building. The night show. We got Queen's Court in the building with me, sister. I appreciate you so much for coming in and hanging out with me today. You know the love we did, man. I appreciate you. What a show. And I'm gonna look where y'all look forward tomorrow night, 8:00, NBK, the Queen's Court. She will be on the building with the free agent talk, breaking all that down. See, hopefully the Knicks got some good news, and she can put that out there for us, so we can get it out there and see what's popping. And and y'all just stay safe, man. COVID-19 still out there. Y'all do the best you can. Wash your hands, keep your distance, man. That Delta variant, man, is on the rise. Michael Jones, peace, my brother. I hope we wish you could have gotten a little bit earlier, man. But thankful for all y'all chiming in. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe so we can keep bringing this fire, this content to you. And let the Queen get some words, man. We're gonna get out of here, Queen, man. Give me some last thoughts before we get out.
I think the Knicks did well in the draft, and I'm looking for them to do well in free agency. I want them to be aggressive, but not reckless. I really trust the front office. So I think if they don't get anything done, there wasn't anything to get done, because I think they're going to turn over. They're going to turn over every rock. They're going to pursue every opportunity, but you got to have willing partners. So I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate you, Divine. I appreciate this show.
Yes.
BX Jetty, get well. Queens Court tomorrow, 8 p.m. I think some news is going to drop before the show, probably during the show, and we'll be right there to break it down.
Yeah, salute. Well, let me salute the chat out. Elton Lee, D. Ross, Michael Jones, Chief New York. Let me get all y'all up in here, man. Shaw Powers, Mike Pudge, salute. Keyshawn, salute. Everybody, man. Frank Montos, you already know. All the regulars, you already know. And I hope everybody else who checked out the show today become a regular, join in.
Definitely.
Part of the family. Raul Brown, salute. BX Jedi, salute. Jet for life. Man, I can go up and down the board. Y'all know it enough time to put in the chat. But thank y'all so much. Thanks to Queens Court. We're going to get out of here, man, and I'm going to hit y'all with this promo. And then I'll see you guys probably Wednesday or one of them days. But y'all look for the notification, and we'll see what's popping, man. Salute everybody. Peace. Yo, salute. Nick's Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Nick's Real Talk. We all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine Bronx Jedi 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Nick's Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight.
Nick's Real Talk. Let's get it popping. We hopping like topping in the Jumpman brand. Ain't no stopping. Divine and Bronx Jedi 7-6. We lit from Facebook, Twitter, to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them lights below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up, cause it's Nick's Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Now you place the chats when I pace that under space where our faces at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats, game recap, and hyperbole. We straight facts. In fact, we stay lit like a candle throughout the handle on the banner. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Nick's Real Talk. Nick's Real Talk.